Hello and welcome back to our Sprint Series. We're at Donington Park tonight for the very first ever league race here. And I am very excited. I'm a big fan of this track. We had a couple of rookie races last night and they all went swimmingly. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome Frank and David.
Good evening.
Good evening, Malik. How is everyone?
Fantastic. Fantastic. How are you guys? Smashing along?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Bender.
Well, yeah, it's going along. It's going. that's the main thing at this point.
That is the main thing.
Bender's experiencing his first lockdown for those in attendance. Some of us professionals that have been at a long time, not quite as worried about it these days. Just the fact of life now.
Hardened to the experience.
Hard to this, yeah. We're bitter and hardened, and yeah, doesn't phase us anymore.
You guys have to fill me in what that is.
Yeah, it's cool.
No,
it's been. Imagine like being in an area you can't leave easily, like an island. It's kind of like that.
It's kind of like that. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Anyway,
shout out to all you out there that are in lockdowns, no matter where you are in the world. Stay safe. Get the jab.
Yeah, about 90% of Australia at the moment now.
Pretty much, mate. And once everyone else is locked down, it's those that aren't locked down, if that makes sense. There's nowhere you can go.
Yeah.
I did enjoy my coffee today, though.
Just saying to Bender, I've had 3 holidays ruined so far this year alone, thanks to COVID. So it's been a great run. I'm pretty much guaranteed to not plan anything for the rest of this year because no doubt there'll be an outbreak pop up where I'm going.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. But at least we're here and got the racing going, mate, for something for you to talk about, at least.
I mean, at least, you know, Tim Racing, it's absolutely built for lockdown conditions.
Exactly. It's designed for it. What are your thoughts on Donington Park?
Yeah, it's a nice track. Very tight, twisty, very old school. Almost feel like the GT3 cars are a bit too big for it, though.
No. They're legendary. Let's take a look at the track map here that I just whipped up before. 11 turns, 4Ks, and the direction is clockwise. One of those tracks where if you make a mistake, you're going to pay for it massively. And we're talking times. There's so much off in the grass. This isn't like Paul Ricard. This is the opposite of Paul Ricard. There is no runoff. There is no chance you can get back on track safely if you just keep it gassed up. So
yeah,
fingers
you'll need
crossed.
a GPS to get back on track for some of these corners, especially around here through the Crony curves. As you can see, there's a wide amount of runoff there, and it's all dirt, so it's going to be slow trekking to get back on.
Yeah, this sector 1 is survival mode, but I do personally really like this track. I'm still pretty new to it. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Wow.
That's a paddling.
I tell you what, I've just caught that and I'm not happy.
That is an absolute no-no if ever there was one.
Anyway, let's quickly look at the championship leaderboard before I smash something in my room. This is for Split Yellow. Bakita leading the way with 706 points from Daniel Hunter. What a season he's having so far. 450 points, 3 clear of Houlihan. That's very tight. And we've got Vecchio, Hobbs, Talbot, Bowen. Pro-Am class, Chris Cusack leads the way, 258 from Patrick Oliver and Kieran Potter. Those two separated by 1 single solitary point. I think both are out there tonight, and I think Potter might be in a different car than the Jag that he started with. So that's something. Tom Kidman we just saw there, 143 points in AM class. He leads from Anthony Ward and Paul Cranich, who are separated by 5 points. We've got about 28 out there tonight. There's a bit of a few drivers out, a couple of things on this week. Yeah, we had our Paul Ricard 8 hour on the weekend, so a couple of drivers taking it easy and having a break, which is totally fine with me.
Yes, another successful endurance on the weekend. It was about 4 or 5 days ago now.
You know what the big success story was of the week? Jeremy Clarkson's farming show has been confirmed to have a second season.
It is. That's awesome.
Get around it. If you haven't seen it, it is on Amazon Prime. I would highly recommend it. You think, oh, Jeremy Clarkson doing a farming show? How boring is that? It is highly entertaining.
Is it just solely based on his actual farm, just so he can't go anywhere and offend and or punch anyone?
Oh look, he
is that
still
the whole
offends
theory?
People. You can never.
But I mean, they can't get to him. He's on his own private property. And
Yeah.
Can't be got at.
Yeah.
G'day there, Linton. So tomorrow night, Bender, I will be back racing in your as your teammate.
I noticed. I saw the updated attendance sheet, mate. Look forward to the Bender Facts on TeamSpeak.
I cannot wait, mate. It's been a long time coming, and I cannot wait to Old F4. In saying that, I did a bit of a race last night just to make sure that the shoulder's decent, and I did a rookies race as my name was Estelle. Last name Hurts.
Ah, right.
Estelle Hurts. So I thought that was funny. I had a bit of a chuckle, but I just wanted to take the pressure of some rookies seeing my name out there and worrying about what I'm doing or saying. I just wanted to just have a test, and it was great fun, and very surprised and actually very impressed with how clean and amazing that the drivers were at this track. It's not easy.
You should have just put your name out there and crushed them. Welcome to sim racing. Bang!
Yeah. There's always someone quicker.
There's always someone quicker. It was good fun though. There's a couple of guys in there in particular that impressed me a lot. But it's one of those tracks where you need that consistency because lap times can drop off. You only need to dip the wheel into the grass once, and you're highly likely to spin. And we'll see it tonight. So at the moment, 26.2. That's some cracking pace.
Valentini, it's a great effort.
Thank you for the donation there, Volcanic. You absolute legend. And thank you very much there to Simon Projects. Appreciate the $5, sir. One thing about this track that's going to infuriate me all night is the TV cameras are glitched. So when you go in the pits, you'll see nothing. They didn't fix it, or can they be bothered?
Got the Monaco team here this week.
Yeah. You don't love to see it, I guess. Unless your name is Lance Stroll.
Or you love to not see it.
You love to not see it. Not see it to love it.
Anyway, 5 minutes to go. We'll see if Makita. Talbot's not far away either. See if they've got any more time. Bone also up there, the hard luck man of the season. It's pretty congested at the front four.
I saw second, just in the practice session on a why is he still out there? He's about to find out the hard way that type of stuff is not on. We saw Kimmy second before on a fast track set like I think it was a 26.5, so I expect he's got maybe a little bit more in the tank. We've seen a 25.9 pop up, but now I don't care what's happened to you during a race or a qualifying session or anything like that. Deliberate contact is not something we're about here, and I don't care who you are, you will cop a little bit of a smacked bottom.
What do you think of the pit exit here? How it just filters in onto the racing line for turn one, right?
Oh, it's shocking. It's shocking because it's on the racing line, but it's right in the brake zone too.
That's what I just said.
The other thing is though, a lot of these drivers, Paul Ricard's very similar in the fact that the exit's not in the greatest location. So hopefully a lot of these guys will be just a little bit wary. I know when I was in the Enduro on the weekend, you were just sort of having a quick squiz at the map and having a look at what was potentially filtering out before you take your proper racing line and hopefully some of the guys will do that today as well.
Well, based on the line just taken by Valentini, that's really cutting across into the pit exit there to really sweep that turn in. That's probably going to run into a bit of trouble perhaps during the race.
It's not too bad there. The difference here with Paul Ricard, though, with the exit is Paul Ricard exit comes out and it's not quite a braking zone, so they've still got a little bit more time to kind of dart forward. Here it's just, how's your father, straight into it.
You've obviously never driven the Camaro. Tyre straight's a braking zone for that car.
The aero brick.
Yeah.
It's track limits here. Quite easy to pick up a drive through if you want to keep abusing it. Turn 1, you can go pretty wide into the pit exit, but again, there's not a heap of grip out there, so you don't want to use too much of it. Here, I didn't do that, but I got a couple of cuts, a couple of warnings. Quite easy to pick up a track limit warning there, and but yes. So what else have we got?
So here's a quick question though. Who should be giving way in regards to
the driver on the track?
Yep.
Yep. So the one coming out of the pits is allowed to enter the pits through that dotted line. They have the right. They don't have to wait. You have to be aware of them coming out of the pits.
Well, that'll be very interesting to see through the pit phase how that works out.
Yeah, because it's a 60-minute race, obviously you've got one stop. It should be pretty well spread out, the field, by that stage to a degree, but it's exciting nonetheless. And it's still quite easy to make the corner if you're sacrificing a little bit of that exit or the outside of the apex. Just got to be aware.
Sort of carnage in an endurance race over a few hours. Sort of pit stops being pretty much constant.
How's the pit entry, Mal?
I was about to bring that up actually. We just saw Alex Bowen. He almost went into the old pit entry, but he returned to pits. I was going to say, do you think anyone's going to mistakenly go into the old pit entry?
Nah, not if they've been practicing for the race. I do have a confession though. So when I first ever did this track, I did a CP race and I didn't practice it. It was at night time. But here I am fanging around here thinking, oh, you know what? I'm going to undercut third and second here and get a nice little position. I've gone down here and I've hit this wall at a rapid rate of knots, and I was like, I hope no one saw that. And then I came back around here and went back into the pits. Pit window was still closed, so I double derped. But I learned that the hard way. I'll be in split blue.
So, just having a look at the times, Bakita now into the 25.7s.
It's just filthy. Just absolutely filthy.
But do you notice there is something not there though?
Yep. DQ. Right,
there we go. So, decision has been made.
Unfortunate, but that's the rules.
It's appropriate.
Oh, that's a little bit of a cut from Regan. Regan Herbert, recent Pro-Am winner in our Paul Ricard 8 hour with his teammate Marcus Van Vliet. So great work, Regan. I wasn't paying attention and started in the pits. Was that during the rookies? That's a good way to start. It's safe that way.
We've all been there.
So that pit entry, what's that used for?
I assume it's the old pit entry and it's not in use.
It's not in use. Well, that'll do it.
Donington, of course, has been used for Formula 1 Grand Prix in the past. I want to say late 80s, early 90s was the last time they visited here.
It's been quite some time. I don't quite think F1s would work here anymore, would they?
No, not the current ones, no. I think they're a bit too big and probably a little bit too quick, and there's not much chance of an overtake. It's not really long enough. I mean, you're doing pretty quick lap times around here, you would guess.
Yeah. Which layout do you prefer? Or is it like car dependent? Do you like the national version of where it's you don't have the Melbourne hairpin? Or do you prefer
in a much
The
slower
Melbourne
car,
again.
you much prefer it without the extra length because it doesn't really add too much. I think cars like these, you probably need it just to lengthen the lap time out a bit. A little bit of opportunity into the hairpin to make an overtake as well.
I definitely prefer in the Mercedes here without this little section. Hates
Do we
it.
have both options in the game, or is it just
Nah.
the full layout?
No, they've only got the configuration the SRO uses.
So there we go, Bakita. We'll start on P1.
No surprise there.
Just hoping to make it 2 wins this week. Or 2 wins in a week.
There we go. So Raleigh was disqualified from qualifying for deliberate contact. Now, benefit of the doubt with regards to being disqualified from the race. We'll still let them race. They're still going to have a great race, but they're going to have the work cut out for them.
This is
But
where a great pit strategy will be most beneficial to Raleigh.
yes, and obviously you can pit at any stage. I'm not quite sure what tyre wear's like, but for one thing that I do know here is tyre pressures are so crucial, and you will drop them massively. It just, for some reason, these curbs and the apexes just drop the pressures, and you don't start recover it. So you kind of start with a little bit higher pressure than you normally would. I know, for example, I'm going to try and go 50-50 with my strat and just see what plays out in that first stint. But yeah, that's what I noticed is the tyre pressures just fired away.
Now, big question is, obviously it's not going to rain for this race, but
Big F.
we are in England. Will it rain at some point across the Sprint Series, do we think?
Yes.
So,
Well, based off what the
fine.
server settings are, there's, I don't know, we had one round where we had a fair bit of rain, and those settings are the same for this round. Same settings we kind of used for Paul Ricard, and Paul Ricard was a bit of a tease when it came to the rain, but
We don't talk about Paul Ricard.
we don't talk about Paul Ricard. I just want to hope that drivers show a bit of patience here. It's very important you show patience.
Especially the opening lap when everybody's trying to get their tyres up to temp. Their brakes working.
Very low chance of overtaking here. You're really reliant on people's mistakes. So you've got to keep that pressure up on the driver ahead. Stay clean, and you just never know, and you might surprise yourself. We've got a great mix of cars in that top 10 though. Porsche, Ferrari, Bentley, Audi, McLaren, Mercedes, Nissan. Nissan isn't just in the 10. The safety car will move out. That is a great sign to see. What's your thoughts? What do you reckon is going to happen lap 1?
Big collision and safety car, surely.
Oh.
Yeah, it's maybe not in the opening section, but I'm thinking through the S's into Melbourne. I think there's a chance that somebody's going to do a massive send.
I think looking back previously when Continental Pack came out, you had Laguna Seca, Bathurst, Suzuka, and all the new and Kailami came out. That first race in the league, even though people had done practice, you still had a whole stack of penalties, whether it was pit lane speeding, incidents, whatever, because people haven't done it in an actual league race yet. And it is different to practice, so I think Donington tonight, it is the first, I guess, official league race here. Yeah, we raced in the GT4s, that's more fun stuff though. So I think there will be a few penalties.
I've got faith, but I'm banned from commenting.
Yep. So who is going to take the first lap?
I'll take the first lap. Let's get this started.
You have chosen death.
So Bakita will have the inside line into turn 1. So a bit of a compromise entry. Hopefully she gets a good start here. On the outside, it's such a high risk. You're relying on everyone behind you not to dive and cause contact because the one on the outside normally cops that hit. But there's a bit of a staggered start there. That's a disgusting grid, but I'm not sure. Words cannot describe that. As the Bentley has a bit of a sand on turn 1 and gets the move done. Bit of a wobble. You can go pretty wide there. They're really bunched up. Oh, this is very, very tight. A couple of Ferraris. Sandwiched between a Mercedes and an Audi. I reckon that's peanut butter and jelly as they come through the old hairpin. So far, so good. You just got to be careful though, because tire pressures and temperatures are just not ready yet. They're just not ready. As the Audi has a wobble and bang, driven. It's driven straight into the driven sign. That is appropriate. And it was such a nice man to take the sign with him and clear the debris. I think that's Mitch Hobbs.
Yeah, Mitch Hobbs in the fence.
Stay on board with Piper. That is so far the only little bit of drama that we've seen here at Donington Park. Let's go on board with Potter. I did think he had a change. He's from the Jaguar now to the Aston. And horrible, horrible hairpins. He's one Melbourne hairpin.
So he's also had a horrible opening lap as Valentini. He's found himself down in P4. Talbot in second already through. Now he's got his teammate Houlihan, who's not slow by any stretch.
No, so yeah, Skimmy second got that jump on lap 1. He's going to retain P2. But overall, a very good lap 1. So I remember when I was driving the Mercedes last night, I was just so squirrely in those first 2 laps, and you're just on edge about every car around you, not making a mistake. So about lap 3, I think everyone will be in the groove and push a little bit harder.
I think Jeff will be on the radio in a moment saying Houlihan is faster than you. Do you understand?
We don't do team orders here at OOR. Mercedes begs to differ, but here we go. Tyre barrier gone. So 6 runs, 6 runs. Benjamin Piper.
It's up and it's good.
I was waiting for it. It's a nice little thing to kind of check your line into the corner, but someone always turns too soon and cleans it up. So we've lost it on lap 2.
Seeing Alex Bone in that Merc, as you predicted, it is a little bit squirrely, and it's a man who would love a great result from this race tonight.
By checking the Mercedes chat, he's found some form in the car. He's setting some good times, but yeah, it just needs a little bit of luck. Just got to stay consistent. Luck does end up finding you. You just got to persist and create your own luck. A bit of a gaggle at the back. I think Raleigh has chopped his way through the field. He's up to 17th.
Side by side here, Kranich and Barrett.
Couple of Nissans. There's a BMW and a Honda in here. I think that's the only BMW I've got tonight for this split. Oh, BMW, that's Saxon.
Oh man, Jamie Saxon's been mugged.
Is Jackson Jamie Sachs off? Had to say it, sorry. He's going to be calling
contact, yeah, almost. They both hold it, well done. But that Honda was trying to sweep in front of poor old J Sachs. Now who's going to yield into the chicane?
You can take a lot of speed through this chicane, but not when you're side by side.
The Audi going to send it. Who's that? That's Hobbs, who had that contact with the wall. He gets his way through. As
Alex Bowen goes fastest with a 26.7. So as I was saying, lap 3, lap 4. Oh, and Saxon. Was that? Yeah, that is Saxon. He's not having a great race. So we'll try and get off him because it looks like I'm cursing him. He'll be doing that to me tomorrow night. Let's go on with Patrick Oliver.
The other commentators called the old airpin, but it's not really an overtaking as Potter goes for a little bit of a wild ride, manages to hold on.
It's like Hunter's had a bit of an off ahead.
Hayes in the McLaren also having a little bit of a look too, gets big in the mirror.
Yes, Raleigh was the one that's qualified for qualifying, but he started from the back of the grid. So it's on him to have a good race here now. Sitting in 16th, so he's gained, looks like 10 positions so far. They're going to go side by side through the Fogarty S's. A little bit of a cut there as the tyre's still sitting on the track. Doesn't hurt your car though. Oliver in a horrible spot.
Oh, that's a send.
Yeah, that's a big send there.
Through wide.
wide.
Oh, mugged. Absolutely mugged.
Oliver is absolutely, and he's going to set return serve. He's going to pull alongside. Is that Hayes, I think? It's going to be a drag. Hayes with the inside line into turn 1.
That's something we'll see a lot of tonight. Into the Melbourne chicane, or the Melbourne hairpin, sorry. Oh, I was going to leave the space. You don't want to dip into the grass. You can still hold a lot of speed through there on the outside. But yeah, at the Melbourne hairpin, a lot of switchbacks, a lot of dives. If you're aware of the car diving, you're going to go a bit late on the brakes. Tuck in that nose and get the position back pretty easily. But Oliver had no real choice there but to be mugged.
Yeah, that was a McLaren con job operation, that one.
Yeah, Oliver wishing some of those guys had bought him dinner first. Valentini managing to hold off Houlihan though, which is not no mean feat.
Potter and Hunter. So Hunter had an off. It's a bit off putting. Yeah, they're a bit off putting. Well,
It's it all going on in the virtual mirror background there.
one thing I did notice racing myself last night was the McLaren was just gaining so much time into the braking zones in Sector 3.
Which is weird considering the reputation of the McLaren as a whole. So obviously,
Yeah.
over the last few patches, they've just brought the McLaren back to the rest of the field in that regard.
It's probably more confident as well going a bit later on the brakes because it's a bit pointier on the turn in. Whereas Mercedes, you just don't feel you get that. No, you got to be very careful with the throttle as well. Oh, there's an off. But your Hayes is pushing hard.
Yeah, just managed to straight line it. Didn't yank on the wheel because that would have sent him into Narnia.
Alright, the grass is cut short. Very, very bumpy though if you go across the grass. Lots of elevation changes, so a little small or dip will catch you out.
So the Fogarty S's. I'm not sure who's actually named after. Obviously a bloke called Fogarty, but why?
I'd say Malik. It would be Carl Fogarty, former Superbike World Champion from the UK.
Good call there. As 3 spun, there's
Hunter's
Hunter.
around.
Oh, it's a horrible spot behind.
He can't reverse back onto the track. He's just got to wait. Here, Houlihan is ahead of Valentini now, who's got Bowen, Hyper, Herbert and Vecchio right behind him.
I do enjoy this part of the track. It's all flat through Hollywood, down the Craner curves, into the old hairpin, which is a very deceptive corner. You don't want to scrub too much speed off.
Penalties starting to get handed out. Potter gets a 5
4.
second for lap 4 contact.
This corner's probably the toughest on the track, I think.
That would have been for that dive into the hairpin.
Oh, it's another off.
The off up ahead.
Is it just me, or does this track really kick up the dirt more than others? That's Kimmy's second, I think. This is going to be awkward. Coming down to... Oh, don't do it. Is it a back marker, or...
No, that was Kimmy. They've all gained a
Nah, it's
position.
Wayne.
No.
That is Wayne, sorry. So Wayne was off. I've also noticed, I swear the Honda badge has changed on that left-hand side.
They've gained a position though, so it had to have been someone. Because Piper's showing as P7 and now he's P6.
Unless it's one of the might be Carl Withers, one of the more lapped Bentleys potentially.
No, that Bentley was that was Darwin.
Oh, Darwin.
Yep. So yeah, Kimmy seconds of second, which is
Interesting.
perfect place for him.
Timing screen, just not having a bar of it.
What did you learn?
Don't trust the timing screen.
That's correct. Have you done any laps practice this week, Bender? Oh no!
Valentini's out.
That's
That's a join.
That's a join. That's a join. Scary. No damages.
Piper.
Oh, his tyres are going to be hating him.
There's a bold place to send there by Herbert, or at least have a look.
Oh, that's Valentini was in a slide there that he managed to catch, and now it's going to be almost 3 wide down the straight.
Vecchio's had to back out.
Oh, Relahi has now got 5 seconds on his recovery job.
I think, by the looks of that, Valentini's going to be struggling with some tyre pressures. It looks very loose in that rear end, that Ferrari.
Might be just trying to regain the correct temps in it after probably putting a fair bit of heat and lock on the car trying to save it.
Tell you what, they're not coming back. Once you've lost it here, it's bon voyage. So maybe an early pit stop could be a viable strat in the next 10 minutes or so for Valentini.
Oh, how he closes up under brakes into turn 1. Still confident under brakes, it's just on the exit. Just seems to dance around at the rear on him.
Bakita 2.1 seconds in front of Kimi second. So the top 6 have all got a decent little break. Less pressure on them now. But we've got a couple of little small packs here. Where's Hobbs at the moment? He's down in 25th. Has he had another potential off?
Or is he pitted?
Oh,
Ooh, what's happened there? There's a Bentley well wide. That's Darwin.
Just lap traffic.
Vecchio side by side. Jeez, they're making that Fogarty S. Even though it's a chicane, 151 is off again. 151 is Jimmy Cato.
That would have been close to a hit there.
Oh,
Touch.
there is touch there.
There's the kiss. But this
Tell you
corner
that
get in the bin.
Herbert know he's there.
Not a fan of this corner.
Something it doesn't show on the TV is the fact it's downhill and pretty much blind, so it is a tricky downhill hairpin.
I sort of reckon it's ever so slightly off camera too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it
definitely
is. Yeah.
It flows to the outside for sure.
It's
It,
just horrible.
it's the worst combination of the corner you can have, really.
I'm surprised those little tall bollards are still there. Just
One
before
on
the old
floor.
hairpin. Or Craner curves.
It's alright, they'll get yeeted into oblivion before the end of the race.
You never know. This corner, so that's McLean's. That will bring a lot of drivers unstuck. You dip the wheels off and end up on the right hand side of the track facing the fence. And considering your life choices after that.
Saw Herbert get on the grass and get a bit squirrely. Valentini, if he maybe had a little bit more confident in his car, maybe he would have taken the opportunity, but still sits in behind.
So as you were saying, Franco, just showing them this part of the circuit where it's downhill here, and then you go up a little bit, and then it's kind of a blind apex just here. You can't see it, and then bang, approaches you out of nowhere. Oh, a bit wide. That is an interesting camera angle. But all in all, not too bad.
So Valentini with his P2 start, down in P9, so maybe he's opted for a more quality setup. Maybe just didn't have the race setup quite nailed.
What does chat think of this circuit? Have you raced much here at Donington? We haven't done any of the GT packs in our Sprint Series before until tonight, as Valentine is going to look at the inside here. There's going to be a little touch. Oh, a lot of respect shown by Herbert, if anything, too much. But it's called survival, and he's done that.
Yeah, he's under a threat from Potter now.
We said the lap before that Herbert was just a little bit slow through that section, and Valentini recognised that and knew he probably had a chance on the second lap. And now Hayes is sniffing about in this group as well now.
Lots of good battles. So chat's saying a couple of them just jumped on for the first time yesterday. Linton saying wouldn't want a GT4 race here. We've actually done that, as it looks like Herbert is coming in for an early stop for the Bentley team.
That's a good move.
I think that is a good move as well. As long as he sets his pressures a little bit higher for this next stint, even if it's 28.1, get out of that traffic. So yes, as I was saying before, the British GT pack has Snetterton, Alton Park and Donington Park. This is the first one of those tracks we've actually added to the Sprint Series. We've also added it to our Endurance Series, the new one, which is starting in the first week of September, I think. But this is probably one of the better ones in terms of league racing, in my opinion. Alton Park's very bumpy, and Snetterton's, while it's fun, it's a bit of a cluster in these GT3 cars. It's probably definitely more a GT4 track, as Raleigh goes fastest. We talk about it every week, about the tracks that we'd love to see next, which area does ACC target, but there's just no word or whispers at all.
Yeah, no, there is actually.
There is, is it?
No. The whispers are a US themed pack potentially coming.
Where'd you hear this one?
Well, I've got contacts, Malik.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, well, hand them over. No, that, or if it's USA. Well, okay, let's speculate then. Are we looking at Watkins Glen?
I'm hearing Coda is a potential.
Yep.
Sebring.
Interesting. I can honestly say I've never cut a lap at Sebring before.
Let me just get my contacts and I can enlighten what I've heard.
Yeah, Franco, just be very careful, mate. Don't overshare. As tempting as that is, you don't want to get cut off.
Okay, this is the rumor. This is someone who knows someone who knows someone whose uncle works at ACC.
Does anyone work at ACC?
Yep. It would be Indy.
Yep.
Watkins Glen.
Yep.
Road America.
Yep.
And
Coda.
And Coda.
Indy, I was aware of because Indy's been in the actual calendar recently. But there's other three. Ooh, interesting. Coda in these cars will be
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Sebring, unfortunately. I misremembered, but that's the hot tip.
So you Road America and Watkins Glen. I think we've done a heap of laps at Watkins Glen, Road America as well. Those two tracks would be perfect. Indy though, ooh, I'm excited for that. More options for more events is what I'm about.
Obviously, it's the road course Indy. It's not the oval. As great as that would be, if they included both, you could just have 8-hour oval race.
Wait, we can make it worse. How about an 8-hour oval race just in the Ginetta or the Alpine?
Oh.
It's just a whole 8 hours of rev limiter. Yeah, nah, get that in the bin.
Anyway, so yes.
So, yeah, I haven't seen anything whispers anywhere. So whoever your contact is, mate, it's good to hear. I want a World War III pack. So you got Baku, Monaco, and Macau. That's what I want. Steward
The
killer.
cow would be amazing.
The steward killer. DLC pack.
So we've got Barrett looking at the back of Kranich. Kranich is he's listed as AM, but he's not the worst driver in the world. He should do pretty well in this fight.
Yes, he did win the AM class event at Paul Ricard on the weekend.
Who's sadistic enough to drive the Jetta at Paul Ricard? Well, one of the DDF community cars was actually the Jetta. Oh, I haven't heard from them since. I'm assuming
Oh, they're still going.
they're still out there.
They're still out there. They're still running.
Somewhere along Mistral.
Yeah. See someone in the back there disappearing into the pits.
Yep, Dan Hunter from McLaren.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. It all helps the community. We've also got a join button now if you're that way inclined. Raleigh, 4 seconds to Cato.
Not too much curb there, Valentini. I think he was almost going to end up on the inside grass, but managed to hold it.
I think Ralahi's got the fastest lap at the moment, so he's pumping out the laps. You know, he's in a bit of clear traffic and has served his pit stop. It's going to have a long stint though.
Yeah, not wrong there. What was the track temp? 29 degrees, slight wind. Looks like it's across the track. Not really assisting down the straights at all.
Typical hot summer
There's headwind.
day
Across
in
track,
England
sorry.
at 21 degrees.
It's
Oh, look at
beautiful. It's balmy.
If it was a typical summer day, it'd be raining. Rains every second day in summer over there.
Bender, what happened to you as a child, mate? Were you banned from pools or did you live in one?
I lived in the local river, mate.
Local riff.
Local river. Yeah. Well, aim and high, mate, aren't you? Were you thrown in there as a kid?
Yeah. I was going to say,
More like pushed.
did you drink the water and that's why bender facts are a thing?
There's many reasons why bender facts are a thing, mate.
So yeah, back up the front here. Ryan Hallhan has managed to bridge this gap to Talbot to under a second now. Maybe an undercut's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so. 36 minutes. Be prime opportunity if Talbot doesn't go in now.
Raleigh leads the way for those that have pitted. He's got a 5-second penalty though to his name.
Here we go. This is what we were talking about, where we start to see traffic filtering out onto the circuit while the runners are coming through.
Yeah, it's very tough. Bowen's pitted, Vecchio's pitted. There's a couple of the front runners now getting that mandatory done. If your pressures are going well and you're in a nice little window and groove, you want to extend that stint as long as you want here. You don't want to go too early. Gives you a bit more of a gauge of where your pressures are at as well.
Bone and Vecchio also in the pits now, so not a bad race from Bone so far. Hopefully he can continue in the second half.
We love repeating each other tonight, don't we?
Yeah.
I just said that.
No,
And that's all right, and I repeated what Bender said before. Maybe because I wasn't listening to him, but...
yeah.
Understandable.
How did you two go at the Paul Ricard 8 hour? How did you find it?
Well, I had a great time. It was really good.
Tell us about the heartbreak, mate.
Look, you know, we gambled and lost. You know, it was all or nothing on the stint timer and when the leader would potentially finish, and you know, it just didn't work out. It's a racing thing, but yeah, had a blast. We basically had 3 teams all in the one voice chat, and fun times were had.
What did you do?
There were more drivers in our voice chat than there were race officials in the race official chat.
Well, I'm glad to hear you guys had fun, as Houlihan's made a bit of a mistake there.
Don't worry about it, Diebols. I had fun, mate.
Yeah,
What else are you going to do in lockdown?
The GT4 team middle name were very unlucky. Makita, he needed to slow down by 10 seconds and not start another lap. And in time it would have been fine at a podium.
Yeah.
Messed it up.
That's a lady that doesn't slow down, mate. That's a big call.
Unfortunately, when you're trying to make these decisions 20 minutes out, you can't really foresee where the leader's going to be. So,
what you should have done is you should have got Toto Wolff to send her an email. Dear Philippa, go slower.
Yeah.
Kind regards, Toto.
I was actually suggesting to potentially one of my teammates who were also in the voice chat that maybe they could have helped us out with, some contact or blocking or, just escorting Bakita around for a slower lap, but it didn't happen. As we watch Houlihan now has decided to pull the trigger. Oh, Relahi has disconnected. He has dropped off the timing sheet, so...
No, he's still there. He's P19.
Oh, is he? Somebody who's chat. Cam Farmer. Cam has sold us on a... that thing, or is it still updating? Yep, hit it.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think Riley's got to disconnect. Yeah, not sure what happened there, but we're fine. Bowen, where is he? Here's the mad lad. Oh, bang. I think that was a back marker though. So Houlihan still in the pits. We're looking for car 999 to exit. How far ahead does he come out of Bowen? It's going to be substantially. He's just out of the pit lane now. You can see him ahead as he makes turn 1.
Yeah, that was 4th position there. Withers very kindly not racing Bowen, as this is the incident result about traffic exiting the pit lane.
That's a position as well.
Alex gets past Piper. I believe he was ahead of him before the pit stops as well.
Tell you one thing about the Enduro in the GT4, I never want to see the colour blue again in my life. Thought the warning was going to be burned into my monitor.
I found the moment where unfortunately Raleigh disconnected. It's pretty stock standard ACC. I hate to see anyone get disconnected, but they are amusing to look at on our end.
That's
Roads.
Yep.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Somebody cue up that song from Aladdin when they're on the magic carpet and float off.
Yeah, safe and chat there for Raleigh.
That's right, my people need me. He died on his way back to his home planet. Nah. Wasn't the night for him. Meanwhile, starting to watch the pit strategies start to play out now. Half the field, or just over half the field, is now pitted.
I was actually watching back a few clips the other night, and there was one at Kyalami. Casey Gould in the Nissan took off like that at the start-finish line. It was like perfect.
Was I on that night? I seem to remember a few disconnected Kyalami on some commentary streams.
Oh, possibly. That would have been North America, so I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, no, not that one.
I don't think I've seen you in the morning.
Oh, is this for lap traffic?
Yeah, blue flag.
Yep.
We're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah, game to do it there, but works out for Alex. Manages to put another couple of tenths on Piper.
I'd imagine Makita, where is she? 326. A little bit of track space ahead. 61 car is ahead of her, which I think is Vecchio from my memory.
Yes, it is.
Yep. So maybe she's stay out a little bit longer. She does like a longer stint, especially when you're leading the race. You don't have like a dramatic reason to head to the pits. Going slightly longer, much more beneficial.
I think that's Bakita's theme, is to extend every stint as long as she can. Can't remember seeing a pit early.
Oh, particularly when P2 and P3 haven't pit. Houlihan on, they were P4 down. The guys, Talbot second, still running out there. They were before everyone started pitting, so no real reason to pit right away.
Sometimes you might go in if you get a lot of traffic ahead of you. But usually that's just to make sure you're not going to get undercut. Those tyres need to go. I think we did a GT4 race at, could have been Snetterton. There was an image of someone smacking into one of those tyres, and they were just cartwheeling down the road, and they were looking at like a long view down the straight. It was glorious. Patrick Oliver's off. Patrick Oliver's had a moment.
Oh, that's not where you want to approach a car that's just rejoining.
It is Hobbs.
It's Hobbs. He's been in the wars today as well.
Would have had a fair bit of damage to repair during his pit stop, so no doubt why he's down this end of the field. He's going to get it done though.
Interesting to see where Valentini and Hopkinson feed out. They're just finishing up their pit stops now.
Try to find out what happened here to Patrick Oliver, so I can avoid doing it tomorrow night, which I'm going to do now. I said it.
You see those big yellow Pirelli signs? Just don't hit them.
Understeer.
Yep.
No, slide the rears. That was it. Trying to find what happened to Hobbs in the first part of the race.
Yeah, we saw that hard hit where he took the advertising sign for a ride. Oh, Baxter, he's been naughty in the pits. And we'll cop a 10-second pen.
This is Hobbs at start.
Yeah, this is lap 1, I think. It's just sort of reacting to what's going on in front, and it just absolutely under gas, just loses the rear.
Bang.
Yeah, there is a little bump just on the exit there, and he's just gassed it up too much, and it's gone. It snapped on him. What's the replay there not showing that he did clean up the driven sign with him?
Yeah. Cones and signs and all that, if they take out during the race, they don't show on the replay, which is unfortunate because I've seen some amazing stuff.
Look at this here. Too wide down the Craney curves towards the old hairpin, and Valentini gets it done.
Withers ahead. Hasn't pitted, but he does have track positions. He doesn't have to give up this spot. Oh,
that's a touch. Valentini into the back.
Oh, this is ominous.
It's old tyres v new tyres.
We'll stay with this. Are you planning to run any GT4 events anytime soon? Possibly. It's pretty well working out when. We've done a GT4 series in the past. As Herbert looks on the inside here, the Melbourne hairpin. They both go deep.
Very deep.
Oh, Herbert with the absolute sell. Made them both miss their brake mark, and Potter's getting involved in this too.
Such a slow section of the track. Valentini's got through it. One of the big team. Oh, never mind. Paquette's pitted from P1.
So Withers, the big loser there. I was in the old tyres as well.
Big long stint here from Withers. We've got Kranich yet to pit as well. They're the only two. Raleigh has rejoined the server. He's in the pits. We've lost two others.
Yeah, 7 laps.
Doing your stint, mate.
Where's Kimmy second at the moment in relation to Bakita?
Kimmy second is Kimmy second.
Just waiting for the timing graphics to update.
She's just out of the pits now.
Oh,
Kimmy's
Sorry,
there.
Perkins with a pen. It says 59 seconds, but I'm pressing X to doubt on that one.
Yeah, unsafe rejoins a little bit higher here. If you're not gonna be patient with getting back on the throttle. The grass. As soon as you lose the rears on the grass. She's good night, Irene. Nice little three-way battle here for 10th. Valentini, Herbert and Potter. We've got a Porsche, Bentley, McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, Nissan in that top 7. Good to see. Kranich is pitted. I don't think Withers is going to come in.
Just pit, do a Schumacher and just finish in the pits.
Is it you, Bender?
Yeah, me and Doug Ryan, the last ones to pit.
And it never worked. Not once. Not once did it ever work. You're still waiting for that late safety car or that late rain.
Yeah.
That's not true. It has worked a couple of times.
What, you've
Like,
actually
not in terms of
pitted?
The rain or safety car coming, but overcutting people has worked, yeah.
Well, you can do it for me tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be quite the same as F1 though. Potter has a look. Speaking of F1, has anyone played the new F1 title, F1 2021?
Give it a little bit of a whirl. Some of the tracks feel different. Like they've changed the angles of the corners, like Mexico, the S's section, Silverstone, the S's section as well. France, the chicane on the back straight, just feels slightly different.
Well,
like the corners are a bit tighter.
Is it the curbs are now death and you should avoid them? Is that the new strat that I'm hearing?
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah, I haven't given it a razz yet.
I'm trying
Just haven't had a chance.
I'm trying to find somebody that'll do a co-op career with me.
Mate, I'll do it.
Cool. I guess I'll do it, but how often do you want to do it?
Well, we'll work it into a schedule. We'll get together and nut it out. Might even stream it for shits and gigs.
If you did it with Bender, you're going to have a lot of wet races, mate. So,
Well, this is the thing. I'm not
choice.
thinking. I'm thinking maybe not doing a full 22 race season. I think that'll be get jack of it. Just maybe slim that down a bit.
Yeah, that's fine with me. You can cut out the rubbish tracks like China, Russia.
Yep.
go on, keep throwing more tracks under the bus. Which ones?
Spain. Spain can get in the bin. I mean, it's not a bad track, but I don't like driving it all that much. Singapore, good leave.
Mexico. See you later.
Yeah,
No!
Mexico doesn't offer a lot.
Hermanos Rodriguez can stay.
Well, all right. So what I will do, whoever chooses to do the career with me, we'll get 5 or 7 picks each, and we'll do it like draft lottery style.
Righto.
I do love a good draft.
Diabols, that is the most sacrilege thing I've ever heard you say in my entire existence.
Hungary.
Don't you dare either, Franco. Don't you dare.
Not a fan.
Only one corner can get in the bin. The rest of the track is fine.
Yeah, but that makes the track good.
The kink
Keith.
can absolutely get in the bin.
Turn 4.
Yeah.
Isn't it just a slight,
It's a slight
like,
lift,
downshift?
Yeah.
It's probably harder in these cars, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm saying it can get in the bin in this game too.
I love it. Hungry is life.
Yeah. It is a good track.
I prefer it in the GT3s than F1.
I don't know. I've had more wings there.
Why would we let the viewers choose? That is a bad thing.
Vietnam, China, Russia,
Yeah.
Mount Panorama. We chucked that in there, the F1.
Yeah.
We did that
Wanna go in the wet?
We did AMS2 F1. At Mount Panorama, and it was just death.
I remember we did something like LMP 2s or 1s in PC Cars 2 in the wet, in the snow. And,
Wow.
and yeah, did not last long.
So, an important question about your co-op championship, Franco. Is it going to be, teammates driving for the same team, or are you going to drive for rival teams?
Well, can you drive for rival teams? Or do you have to pick the same team?
I believe you can drive for rival teams. I've not tried it. Maybe someone in chat who's given it a go or knows more about it will give the right information.
If we're rival teams, Franco, the Hamilton v Verstappen contact, you can get used to that, mate.
Just every week.
I'll find a higher speed corner and just dip a wheel into your rear. You can be in other teams. All interesting. Well, if I'm with someone, I'm shotgun McLaren.
Well, there you go. Well, we'll nut out the details. We might get a schedule going.
Righto. What's better? Like, do you gain anything from being on the same team other than setups that you share?
I think maybe resource points. You might be able to pull more resource points for upgrades and stuff, potentially.
It's a co-op career mode. We're not sharing setups or anything. We're just using default setups, skipping the practices, going to quali, do the race.
Yeah, nah. Look, if I was doing it, I'm not having default setups because they're normally garbage. I'm not going to sweat on the game though. I don't even have time to sweat games I do like.
Oh, alright then, I'll allow you to use the increased top speed setup.
Thanks. Done. I'll use it at every track, including Monaco.
Right, back to the GT3 action that we got going on. Potter having a good look at Herbert, who lost the rear a little bit through the S's there. He's had to go mega defensive. Potter can hold on around the outside. He will have the inside line into the last corner.
Oh, he's done well on the Aston there.
Yeah.
It's such, it bogs down. He's going to have a squeeze. He's
going to send it.
Given the space.
I feel like Herbert, he's just going to take it for a ride today. He's very respectful, not squeezing people, and then everyone else, squeeze you right out to the edge of the track.
Yep, that's all right. But he's generally going to avoid contact. And he'll finish knowing that, he hasn't ruined anyone else's race.
Bender, a question for you. Do you still practice sim racing at all? Or you just kind of just jump in when you can?
I kind of just jump in when I can. I mean, obviously the special events are a little bit different. Obviously we've got classification and things like that, so I have to actually do something for those.
Yeah.
The rest of the time I just jump in, just have a bash. 30 minutes before a race I'll hop on and give it a whirl, try a couple of different setups people have shared or posted and see how it goes.
Yep. Hey Raggy, how are you, mate? Yeah, I obviously haven't raced much lately due to my shoulder injury, but before that, Valentina's got a drive through. That's definitely for track limit, season P9. always interested to know how much practice do you guys do out there for your races? Now, I'm probably talking more league racing, and probably more, not really a time per se, but how many laps would you put in?
I'd say at most probably 10 laps before the race
Jesus.
each week in what the session there is.
I can't wait to
Some
be my
weeks-
teammate.
I mean, when was the last sprint race? That was at Paul Ricard. For whatever reason, I joined late. I only got halfway around the outlap before qualifying started.
Oh, thanks, Reggie. You sweetheart. Sweetheart. Yeah, well, this is close.
Herbert, he's going to have a... The problem is there's no real overtaking spots here, so it's all a bit of just pressure at the moment, not actually probably looking for a spot unless Potter does make a mistake.
Well, Bakita sets a new fastest lap, a 1:26.3.
Come on, chat. Tell us how many laps you would do to practice for your races on each circuit. At an estimate. Like, everything's gone well and you've had a bit of time.
200 laps, Christ, we barely did that in the...
Whoa, that's a send.
Euro, that's a send.
Regan Herbert has heard our call and missed his breaks, but he's sick of being bullied. Why you bully me? And but didn't quite get it done and got a little bit of a kiss for his troubles. But he'll fight back. Flicking through the field. 69 laps of Brad Shafley. 200 for Adrian Ferguson. For me, I try and have 50. That's my bare minimum. That's how much practice I've done. About 50 laps. Do I get that most of the time? No. Ideally, though, it's probably... But look at the 100 to be competitive, 200 to be on point. And that's usually laps that don't include practice races. But it's all, obviously, it depends. A lot of people practice the wrong way and probably practice a little bit too much, especially in one stint.
Depends on... Are you just trying to just do quality quick laps and, do a couple laps into the pit, change the setting, or do you sit there and just churn out laps and try and get a consistent...
Look at about 10 lap stints with enough fuel to still have more. Just kind of get that consistency going with a bit of fuel on board, but not too much. The heavier fuel loads I normally practice in a race is that Honda. I don't know what happened there, but he has... Oh, maybe that's...
letting traffic through, I think.
I thought he went off track. It might have been a little bit of a glitch.
He did, but he's gone all the way offline.
Oh, speaking of our man, he has got a drive through. Regan Herbert, another one.
Oh, track limits. I hate to see it. Oh, you remember back in the day, Mullock, F1 2017, I was doing 5 or 6 full races a week.
Yeah.
It's nice when you got that time.
Yeah, when I had the time back then, Check the tyres, check alternate strategies, account for wing damage. How do they wear over a stint? Do a wet race, see how that goes. Do an intermediate race, see how that goes, and play with the transitions, all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't. Obviously, I'm pretty time poor with running OOR. But yeah, it's always good.
Back then.
Oh, exactly. Even that's very true. But it's always good to get a little bit of different practice in and different race conditions. I wish I could say I could do the same, but there's a lot of people to sort of bounce off, to help me get up to speed a bit faster than I normally would with no data. And that's the best part about OOR, I think, is the community is willing to help each other out to improve, to learn, to grow, and to avoid pineapple on pizza. It's great to see everyone's coming together.
Yeah, people go to extreme lengths to avoid pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
Really, you just have to embrace it. Accept it. Don't discriminate. Just, it is what it is.
I went to Omar's house the other night, which is my partner's nan. they love, I don't know about Austrians, but they love pineapple on pizza. And I'm not talking a couple of little chunky pieces. I'm talking half slices on top of a Supreme with already has pineapple right type of stuff. And I'm like, what's wrong with you Austrians? Is this why you lost World War II?
I think it's more the fact they knew you were coming, and this is
it's just a
sign of how much they actually feel about you. Like, they don't like you, Malik. I
I actually went there the other night though, Franco, and Omar's 90 years old now. She didn't have any pineapple out. And before I sort of noticed and said anything, she's randomly said, "Oh, did you guys want some tomato sauce?" Like, she's a bit confused and sort of brought up the tomato sauce. And then I'm like, hang on a second, there's no pineapple on the table here. And I said, are you guys sick? What's going on? And they didn't get it. So maybe I've changed a whole family of people. And with that, I can leave the earth happy. But yeah, obviously I beat it up. I couldn't care less what people had in their pizza. As long as it's not pineapple.
Again.
No, Franco, shush, shush, shush. You saw nothing. Shush. No, nothing. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to subscribe.
You're not going to get that like from the pineapple board of Queensland, I can tell you that right now.
They're better with bananas anyway.
So, second now, 12 seconds off the lead of Makita. Well, not a bad drive though from second to start at what, P3, P4?
P4, great drive.
Best lap of a 26.5. That's not slow.
It's only 0.2 off the fastest lap. It's great pace.
We got 8 seconds to go. 8 minutes to go, sorry.
So here's a question for everyone in chat out there. What is the strangest pizza topping you have ever consumed?
Pineapple. That's a tough one, Bender. There's been bread?
Bread?
We need more information.
Banana? A couple of the dessert pizzas that I've tried have been quite strange. Does that count?
Yeah, well, I was about to say dessert pizzas. Like,
mate, they are glorious.
They are glorious.
Are they literally crepes at that point, though?
Yeah, they are. That's what it feels like, and that's what it tastes like. Seriously, if we have a get-together at OOR one night, once COVID settles down, I will host a pizza night somewhere, and we'll smash different types of pizza. I'll even let people pop up and have pineapple on theirs. No judgment.
Yeah.
Volcanic XM, thank you very much for the donation. Much appreciated.
Biltong, avocado, bacon, and feta. Biltong just screams South Africa. So that's I can see why pages are having that. I don't think that'd be bad.
I would love to have kangaroo on a pizza. I've never had it, but I like kangaroo meat as a general rule.
Yeah, I like it too. So what else have we seen? Beans on pizza, fish, anchovies in tikka chicken. Octopus. Octopus is in carbonara.
Oh, that was close.
You like the carbonara?
Kimmy almost got destroyed that Aston.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird leave.
Cracking traditional pizza joint just above Salamanca and Hobart. Yeah, that's some really nice ones on the wharf. But Raggy might host one in Europe. Maybe some of our North Americans can host one in the States.
Oh, here's the thing though with the States and pizza, it's not just different toppings; they're different types.
Yeah, honestly, some of the big, massive pepperoni pizzas are amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
But
the New Yorker.
Then you've got what they call the Chicago deep dish style, which is completely different again. Like, it's almost a cake that's a pizza. So,
oh, you're hosting a pizza night, Raggy. I don't know what you Brits go to for your pizzas. I hope it's not. It's probably ham and cheese. Oh,
beans.
Beans. So pizza night is pizza night with Raggy. Speaking of, you mentioned kangaroo meats before. One of the best game meats I've tried is actually emu, and I was absolutely shocked at how nice it was. It wasn't too chewy. It's like a gamey eye fillet. Thank you very much there for the membership, Mr. Peabody. Appreciate you. And speaking of food and racing, do you guys and girls out there, before you race, in like a race like this, do you have to have dinner first, or do you wait till you finish dinner? Personally, I can't have a big meal before a race. I just feel like crap and want to sleep. So I normally have a bit of a drink and smash it down.
So what you're saying is, for the co-op F1 career, just get you to smash like a meal.
You're going to be sending me pizzas. G'day, Frank. Struggle to eat before a race. Dinner first.
Personally, I like to eat beforehand, but not much. Just because I find if I'm hungry, I will just think about food and being hungry. And then it stops me from focusing on, the actual corners and picking apexes now. So, some fruit or whatever, maybe a small sandwich, that's fine.
I think a few people out there, obviously the younger audience, don't really have a choice of when they get fed. Dinner's now. You eat your dinner now.
Pause the game.
Exactly. So I can see that. Obviously, those that us that are. Well, speaking of dinner, my dinner's just rocked up. Great timing. Thanks, Mum. Just got slapped. So you obviously rely on yourself. Yeah, I'm not a huge eater before a race. I think I'm just... That's better. All good. By the way, that wasn't my mum. I don't live with my mum in the basement.
But we can't confirm or deny that, so...
I wouldn't be here, mate, if that was the case. I'd be off to Harvey Norman to buy a toaster. Love you, Mum. Love you, Mum. Speaking of mums, a big shout out to Peach and family. JP has recently given birth himself to a child. No, he hasn't, but yes, his partner has had a child. They've had a baby. So big shout out and love to you and family. Hope everyone's doing well. See you back in the commentary box next week with the little one.
Yep. Absolutely sleep deprived.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd go. I'm a bit of a night owl, but I still need my 8 hours. My brain just doesn't work.
So, starting to wind down now. I think we're up to the last lap, or not far away.
Not
Can
quite.
Hayes steal another spot off Vecchio?
Just
That
pushing through hard.
Nissan is plenty wide though.
And Vecchio's no slouch. What's the weirdest food you've eaten, Mole? How long have you got? I'll try anything twice. Actually, I'm not sure. That's a very good question. Let me have a think about that. Tell you what, crocodile's overrated.
Well, it depends on what you get.
I did it in a gumbo.
Apparently, it depends on if it's farm or fresh.
Never been to a crocodile farm.
Because crocodiles will take on the flavour of what they're fed, apparently. So if you get fresh ones, they'll taste more fish-like, or if they're farmed, they'll taste more like chicken.
Interesting.
Well, there you go, you learn something every day.
Well, the one I tastes like chicken.
And I didn't even say bender facts at the start of that either.
See, to be a bender fact, you have to say, did you know?
Well,
It was your mistake.
but it wasn't a bender fact, so it was no mistake.
I've never been fussy with food. Growing up, you just kind of... Mum would have been happier to say whatever she put in front of me, whereas my other brother that was similar age to me was a absolute little prick. And I'm sure he won't mind me saying that. He was super fussy. had to have things a certain way. So yeah, I don't really think about sometimes the things I've tried. Just give it a 6. I like Brussels sprouts. Bring them on.
And you think liking pineapple's weird?
Mate, Brussels sprouts with pan fried with some butter are underrated.
So what is it underrated?
This driver.
Yep.
What a segue. Well done. You call him home, Franco.
Yep. So Philippa Bakita will take the win. Backs up from the Enduro. Give me a second. Not a bad effort in the Boatley. Will take P2 after starting P4. Talbot not far behind. Couldn't quite get it. Fullhan also P4. Bone, the hard luck man.
Boom.
He's just got to get it round the corner, and this will be a great result for him. You can see how happy he is.
Woo!
As he crosses the line. Managing to hold off Piper. He will be in the other push. Will finish P6. Vecchio.
Nice.
And Hayes. Looks like Vecchio is going to hold on as Hayes runs a little bit wide. And that will do it. So that's P7 and 8 and Potter. Who had some interesting moments throughout the race. P9, and it looks like Valentini will round out the 10. Another 7 seconds down the track. So there you have it. And then we'll have Hunter, Herbert, and then Hopkinson, and the other finishers of Hobbs, Oliver, Kidman, Kranich, Barrett, Ward, Darwin, Perkins, Withers, and Cato.
The boy from Repugnant.
Yep.
That'll never be funny. That'll never not be funny.
There'll be gunfire and celebrating and everything going on in that town tonight.
I love Alex Bowen. He's a ripper.
Yep.
All right,
He's a great kid.
Look at the overalls. So as we were saying, Bakita second, Talbot 1, 2, 3 in the Pro-Am class. We had Piper, Hayes, and Potter. And in the AM class, we had Kidman, Kranich, and Ward. So how many laps did we get in? 41 laps. There we go for a 60-minute race. As we venture over to the land of the lost, the land of living, Split Green. Do I say it again? I think we'll have a super clean one tonight.
Yeah, absolutely nothing at all will go wrong. It'll be a clean race, no penalties. No one will do any mistakes all race.
That'll be the day. Alright, I'll just flick over to the server seamlessly. We've got quite a big grid tonight in Split Green. You'll love to see it. We'll touch base on a couple of questions in chat in a sec. You'll be pleased to know, guys, that I hit a record today on my scooter.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to die on it. 41k on flat.
You just ruined your shoulder again, and
it's actually really easy to ride on my shoulder. It's
yeah. No, when you fall off, then you'll ruin your shoulder.
Oh, of course, but it's already ruined. Can you ruin something that's already ruined?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Split Green. They're at practice at the moment. 5 more minutes, and they will kick over to qualifying.
Alright, I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be back in a minute.
No worries, mate. Franco, when are we going to get you back in the Sprint Series?
Sooner than you think, maybe. Although I do have some things coming up which might dent that a little bit, depending on timing. But
Got a teammate for you.
Oh, have you?
D. McNulty.
See,
Does all the practice. Oh, Tady's lost it. Practice here.
I'll tell you what I am considering, though, considering we have a few months before it starts, and that's maybe a sneaky little enduro team.
Oh, sneaky. I was going to get involved in that, but obviously I'm streaming, so maybe the Europes or the North Americans, if we get up and running, will let me race in that series in my own league. I've got to ask, but obviously that depends on my ping.
Yep.
What else we have? What are the questions that I miss? Something about food.
Oh, Jones also looping it on the last corner. I think he managed to beach it. So no surprise, Andy O'Hara leading the way with a 125.5.
That's disgusting. Some would say filthy.
But this is only free practice. We're not actually up to qualifying yet at the moment, according to that.
Bit of wind, 11Ks. Windwatch sponsored you by something.
Who used to sponsor the, when you used to watch the cricket, they'd have the weather wall.
Oh.
Tony Gregg.
I'd say KFC because they sponsor everything with cricket, but it wasn't that.
I reckon back in the day it was somebody like Dulux or something like that.
That's a
And
good
they just used to
question.
have useless information that did not make 1 ounce of difference. Just
Oh,
had all
yeah.
these numbers and,
Was it-
like player comfort and all this kind of
Was it
stuff.
AWS? Hey,
It was the early
Rivera!
version.
G'day, Rivera. It's been a while. I want to see you back racing soon, mate. Stick Death. Shout out to Miles and Cruz. Love your work, like always, and too many Jamisons after. Thank you very much for that donation, Stick Death. Much love to you, mate. Hope things are going well over there. It was Dulux, Chris Marshall says.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a good remembering. Maybe we can get a paint sponsoring board. We just need some stupid graphics up that just don't have any bearing whatsoever.
You want
Grass length.
driver comfort and, the hardness of the track, softness of the outfield.
Yes. Firmness of the sand.
Yeah.
The rake patterns.
Somebody out there sticking a key into the ground.
So quick shout out to Sticky. Ah, man, amazing. Thank you so much for the donation.
Ben has just joined up. We're going really well. Now you follow me. I've copied you, Bender. Franco's copied me, and you've copied me. But yes, we couldn't thank you enough. What like Bender facts? Pretty much, Carl. That is a massive stab at you, just quietly, Bender.
I missed. I don't have the stream up at the moment.
Okay, so pretty much what we've said, we're going to put some graphics up on screen that have no bearing on whatsoever on anything. So, like, yeah, what's the firmness of the grass here? And someone's just absolutely dropped a hammer on you about your Bender facts.
Well, I obviously love them, so I'll give them another one. Did you know if you have a pet dog, if they could, they would not give you gifts?
Aww. What would they say? Oh.
I
Unless...
don't know what they would say. The study was examining if dogs would reciprocate you giving them a gift.
But how do you know
They're
that?
giving
How
you
do
a
you
gift.
actually know that? How
Well,
can you
there
be...
are scientists that examine this and neuro pathways and whatever. They're far smarter than you and I, so I trust their research.
They're
But if you
studying
got-
dog patterns with their brain. Look, they may be smarter, but they're probably still a little bit more unhinged.
But here's the thing. If you throw a stick or a ball, they'll bring that stick back and give it to you.
Yes.
So the
And-
back doesn't get.
That's not the same as
Nah.
giving a gift.
I disagree. My dog Max, he will literally, if we haven't been home for a little while, and we come into the house, obviously how I've been taught to dog train is don't make a huge fuss when you walk inside your house because your dog will carry on. You kind of ignore them for a little bit as you walk in, like nothing's happened, and then you go and pat them and give them some love. He knows this, so we get home and we'll like say g'day, we won't make a deal of it, and within about 1 minute he'll go grab his toy and bring it over to us for more attention, thinking, hey, I got the toy, now time for the pat, you bastard. Like, is that not a gift? Because he's not wanting to play, because if he wants to play, he'll bark.
Well, I'm no dog expert, so I can't definitively say yes or no.
I'd like to talk to this person that did this study. No worries, Pat. Whilst we are doing qualifying, let's take a look at the standings here for split green. order splits. That's a bribe. Probably is. So Adini leads the way from O'Hara. 17 points separate those two. Is Adini out there tonight? Yes, he is. So they're both going to go head to head. Russell Reyes is out there as well. 142 points. So we've got a nice little gaggle of pro-ams here with Karen Ross, Megan D and Debian Biambi. Going great guns. Maybe looking at like an upgrade, but nonetheless, that's an awesome effort. Jerry Kerneman is leading the AM class. I missed the second one. I got Darren White and P3 at the AM. But quite a few drivers gone through this split. It's always hot and heavy in a split green. So you don't want to turn away now. Max has trained you well. Dogs in his shirt play for no other reason than they enjoy it. There's no reason for dogs to play with us. Yeah. Max is funny. Yeah, I don't know why you sold it, John. Obviously, you've got stuff going on and life takes priority, but yeah, it'd be great to see you back racing at some stage, mate. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, Benner, if you want to give them some facts while I'm gone.
Or not.
Mate,
Purely up to you.
I don't need any tempting.
Yep. So in the meantime, might just open to chat. This is just a pretty generic question that gets asked on most racing streams. We're just seeing the Nissan there with the Castrol looking livery, which is very nice. What is your favourite livery of any car type? Bender, what's your favourite livery?
Oh, from any car across any like
Any racing series, any racing league ever.
Oh, it's hard to go past Subaru Impreza WRX from the 90s and the World Rally Championship.
The
Gold
555 car.
Star. Yep.
I'd have a I don't know what I'd pick, but there'd be a couple that I'd be going between. One of them is the Castrol Supra from the Japanese series.
Yes, that was always good. I love that.
Another one would be the 787B Mazda from Le Mans in about 91 from the 24-hour race. You'll know it as soon as you see it. And I think obviously a Golf livery does not go astray on anything really. Nearly every car type has had a Golf livery at some point.
Yeah, that looked amazing at Monaco.
Yeah, it did. They really did a good job with the Formula One for McLaren this year.
I would love to see like classic heritage round a deal in F1 where for one race you have one-off liveries, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, Calsonic NSX, another good shout as well. So we just watched Andy O'Hara put in a 26 flat. Sure, that was probably his opening lap too, so it's not a bad time to start with.
No, just a casual half a second clear of the field.
Well, here we go. This is absolutely checked up. The Ambi, unfortunately, just got held up by the merging traffic. I mean, he may just tool around or he may just walk back to the pits. So we jump on board with the Lagulant. What sort of time he can put down. He's currently 1.3 off the pace.
Not to get one in while Mullock's away, but Andrew O'Hara 125.7, wow. Did you know that streaming movies on Netflix via your gaming console uses approximately 40 to 50 times more power than if you were using a laptop or desktop computer.
That would not surprise me.
It's all because consoles are not designed to use minimum power.
We have a new member of the commentary box. Paddy Oliver is going to join us very shortly.
Yeah, he's here now.
He's here now.
Welcome, Pat.
How are we?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
That's good. Oh, how about that first body race? That damn grass comes out of nowhere, honestly.
I mean, it is green. You can see it coming.
Yeah, it blends in with those extra bits outside the curbs.
What was the grass firmness like tonight, Pat? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Probably 6.9.
How long was the grass tonight, Pat? In millimetres.
Not very. The curators have been out on the mowers all night, I heard. So, you know, it's nice and lush.
Grass watch.
Pretty strong stuff, though. Withstood my Mercedes twice. So, credit to the curators.
A little bit out of context here. People.
You out
might
of
not know this,
context? Never.
but is there a better groundsman than the Leicester City Football Club guy who, prior to the Premier League changing their rules, he would do all sorts of patterns where he'd cut the grass at the King Power Stadium, and it looks absolutely amazing. And now it's just got to be standard, boring, you know, lines back up and down, up and down. I'm like, no, that man has been denied of a great job.
I would have thought the Everton manager, or groundsman, for how shit you guys have been on the field, I thought he'd be cleaning all that up. I was going to say my own team, Bender, because we've been absolutely true. We've got a few trophies in the cabinet though.
So Dowd, he's put in a fairly decent time. He's only 0.174 from Andy O.
Ready for a promotion.
Yeah, now that Pat's in the box, I might take my leave and watch you guys call the upcoming race for green.
Thanks, Frankie, for joining us tonight, mate.
No worries. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Franco. Let me know about the Co-op Championship, mate.
Yep, no worries.
Yeah, good question, Stick Death. Surely Bender knows that answer.
I don't have the stream open. What's the question?
Does Bender know why the bridge at Donington was taken away?
No, I don't know. But that is a good question.
It would be cool going through a bridge.
I just don't have a good answer for it.
That's alright.
Oh,
That's wrong.
yeah, that's an invalid lap there from the Aston.
Dini currently leading the championship. Oh, excuse me. 0.777 back. It's a shocking lap.
Pretty good lap from Fluke, our leading amateur at the moment. What's that, almost a 27 flat?
Yes,
It is.
Dini moves up to third instead of his teammate Ray's.
Who else can we watch? Let's get into Real Brits in the Porsche. It got sold to make some money. They were struggling for cash. Wow.
Imagine just selling a bridge. How do you even sell a bridge?
And
Mate, I know a few people that can sell you a bridge.
That's pretty impressive.
yeah, it'd be more an ornament, wouldn't it? Like, it's only a small bridge. You can't just use it, just whack it anywhere. It's not like expandable. Unless you've got a perfect area for it. The bridge was allegedly sold for £300.
That's a steal.
What's with the Brits selling bridges? Maybe that's why it's not coming home. There's no bridges left.
Can't get it back home.
It's now on the state. That's a very good point. Oh, wiggle there from Brits. I've still got to get into this car and give it its a bit of lap time.
Yeah.
It's one of those cars that I just really haven't driven much. I didn't really like the previous model or version of this car. Take that back. Well, I can say it because I've had a shocking day sport-wise.
Yeah, it was unlucky, mate. Sun's gone down to the Bucks in 6.
Yeah, it was. I said to Nat about 5 minutes. I didn't think we are going to win Game 6 anyway. We're just not quite there, and we haven't been shooting well. I said to Nat about 5 minutes ago, pack the scooter in the car. As soon as this game finishes, I am fucking off somewhere for 3 hours to clear my head. It's been a stressful series to watch your own team in the finals.
I mean, it's been interesting as a neutral. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he turned into just God from the line in Game 6. What was he, like 17 of 19 free throws or something?
Yeah, he shot the ball very well.
Like 50%.
And that's what he should be shooting from the free throw line. He fucking gets the opportunity enough.
Yeah.
That could spark me up to discuss the type of contact and free throws he does get looks at, but the way that he can get to the ring in multiple different ways is just incredible, and he's very accurate. Like he can spot up shoot as well. If I know I'm a Suns fan, I am happy that for the Bucks though. Like they're not a prick of a team. They've got a lot of decent players on there, a lot of decent people on there.
Yeah, I mean, two things really stand out for me. One, they've done it the right way. You know, you built through the draft. You didn't just assemble a super team like the Brooklyn Nets or whoever else
Lakers.
is going to do one now.
Lakers, Clippers. Where do you head there?
And then secondly, just the fact that we even had a series. You know, the fact that he hyperextended his knee. Now I don't know if anyone's seen that footage from the Hawks Bucks series, but I thought he was going to be out, done, hooked, gone. But to play a week later and the way he has, that's nothing short of remarkable.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the Suns in the first two games were on point. But, that's a bit wide. Just couldn't quite get it together. I was also saying, like, we're kind of not used to series to determine a championship down here in Australia. Obviously, we've got grand finals, so it's just a one-game thing. So, the stress is only for a day, whereas in your final series, your best of 7, it could be four games of stress or 7 games of stress. But I reflecting on it, I was pretty proud to see a team that's struggled for quite a few years. And Booker set a record for the most points in your first ever playoff appearance.
Good to see a couple of different teams in the finals as well.
Yeah, it was good to see. I was hoping for a Hawks Suns. I think we would have had the measure of the Hawks, but wasn't to be. And in my opinion, the best team won the championship.
Do you think the Clippers would have done any better if they'd made the finals instead of the Suns?
No, because Paul George can be hot and cold, and I think, leg us down. That's a bit of damage. No, I wish they didn't. I don't really like the way Beverly goes about it. PJ Tucker's a similar player to Beverly, but he's hard but fair, and he's not an arrogant prick. Like, I really do like Tucker. I just think I'm glad that the Clippers didn't make it through. I think they're always going to struggle without Kawhi. So 125.6. Sorry, just to touch back on the actual motor racing. That's the pole lap here. But yeah, it's interesting. I've been a big basketball fan, sim racing fan my whole life.
Think Chris Paul's coming back next year?
Oh, he has to. I don't see why he wouldn't. He's got a player option, but I reckon he'll decline it and get a lower contract, but for longer years. So he's 37 next year. They'll add a few pieces. I'm sort of glad that we didn't win because there's a few glaring holes, and everyone talks about injuries and the Suns got a good run. We had a shit chance of actually beating the Bucks without Dario Saric because we don't really have a decent big backup to guard people like Giannis or Brook Lopez. And when he did his ACL, which he's out for another 12 months, it's always unfortunate sport injury.
Yeah.
You hate to see that on anyone. But I don't know what I'm going to watch now instead of that.
The Olympics.
Yeah, I love the Olympics, but that's only 2 weeks.
NFL starts in 2 months.
What is? What does?
The NFL.
Oh, I never really watched that.
Did the Olympics start in like
this
2 days?
week.
Yeah.
What you could say, I should have said this while Franco was here, but the Tom Brady effect is in full force because obviously the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Bucks, won last year's Super Bowl, and the Milwaukee Bucks, also known as the Bucks.
If you get a chance to Google, what was it called? The deer. Oh, what was the outside of the Bucks?
Deer Garden.
No, it wasn't Deer Garden. I was trying to think it was a Deer Garden, but anyway, outside this the Bucks Stadium was just 60,000 people, Bender, to watch a sport game in Milwaukee. Like,
Yeah.
I loved seeing that as much as I hated seeing it as well. You can't win everything. You're not always on the winners list, but I'd love seeing that. That was wicked.
That's like 2/3 of the MCG full people just out in the street watching the game.
Yeah, and I googled like vaccination rates, transmission rates in Milwaukee. I think they've vaccinated 3 million people, 60% of the population in Milwaukee. So, and their cases a day, they might have gone up, but the deaths a day like down now because most of them are vaccinated. So they can do it. They get away with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the sim racing. Usual suspect on the front row, joined by teammate Lucas Dowd. So Mercedes had locked the front row out. Such a Mercedes thing.
Bentley, and then the Lambo of Cruz ruins it because then we've got Audi. So
I'm just going to DQ Cruz here for the OCD purists.
2x2 would have been a little bit cute.
But that's some great pace from Lucas Dowd. Don't know if maybe he didn't race. No, he did the GT4 at Paul Ricard, didn't he?
Yes. I think he was part of a winning GT4 team, wasn't he?
Yeah, him and Nichols and...
That's right. That was just those two in the LL Motorsport for the Paul Ricard.
Well, since we're on the formation, we've got time for one more quick Bender fact. During World War II, the stress level in Wales increased. And scientists have been able to tell this by analysing your earwax from Wales collected during that time.
The stress level. Is this the same people that did that dog research?
No.
Did you know Wales, if they could bring you a present, they wouldn't? Obviously that stress is from underwater crap that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these submarines, sea mines,
landmines, so many sunk
torpedoes.
ships. Yeah, it'd be hectic at that time, especially in the Atlantic. All right, Bender, as my co-commentator tonight for both races, you're going to be calling the start of this one.
Yep, as we know, absolutely nothing at all is going to go wrong. It's going to be a perfectly clean start.
They are known as the clean split green.
I feel like this is an awkward end to the lap to get 2 even lines to start, you know.
Oh, it is. There's a couple of tricks to it. Like, people sag back a little bit too much. You can be right up the back end of the car ahead. You can be actually inside them. And then you roll off a little bit. Rather than worry about that speedo. Because the people leave it too late. Like that Porsche, the Honda. That's a
Beamer
long
back
one.
there. Yeah,
Beamer.
that's messed up there.
That's
Fluke
looking
in
nice.
10.
All right, here we go.
O'Hara on the inside, Dowd on the outside, waiting for us to go green. And we're off. Very late start there, almost at turn 1 by the time the lights go green, but O'Hara holds the inside. Dowd's got a great run. This is going to be interesting.
Oh, 2x2 teams.
Yeah, 2x2. It looks like Dowd just tucking in slightly. O'Hara with the outside racing line for these sweeping corners. Turns 3 and 4. Head down the hill. All clean so far. Side by side. Beamer, McLaren, P10. Looks looks like it's all good. Couple of cars struggling in the back. Minor incident, few yellow flags out.
I think that safety car called.
Yeah, I think the safety car has been called. Everyone's slowing down.
Oh dear.
You can
It's
see.
that C word.
Well, I want to take the
Crash.
pressure off. I want to take the split pressure off Lit Green here. This track, you can't recover, but like from losing the rears, especially if your car is going to lose the rears and come back across the track. That's it. You can't really avoid it, because as soon as you avoid it, you're back on the grass and you're in the same boat as them. So it's just going to happen this round, where if someone makes a mistake, goes a bit wide, it's going to cause a Barney.
Might have to go to the replay for that one.
Yeah, can we
Bit of a
assess the
kerfuffle in the
replay
back
if possible? Safety car has been deployed, as we can see there, by Lontel. Big shout out to our amazing sponsors, Lontel, helping us out with our servers. If you are looking for a new internet service provider, I would strongly recommend at least checking them out.
Customer service there is actually like top notch. Like, it's so easy to get a hold of someone for some help if you need anything. I've been with them for the past 6 months, and it's been nothing but a breeze.
This is not a sponsored
No.
segment.
Yeah.
Alright, so here we go. What happens? Oh, Aston just taps the back of the Nissan, checks up, gets punted from behind, and it is just a car park. Bang!
Yeah.
That is a lot of damage.
There you go, no balls, just in case you were going to retract a comment. That's it.
So who's this? Aldo Balagulan, just a little bit too close to the back of the Nissan there. Gives him a tap. Gets whacked by the Bentley. Back into the Nissan. Nima hits the Macca, who gets hit by the Lambo, and then it just all kicks off. Track is blocked. Cars going everywhere. Good night. Thanks for coming.
I don't think anyone behind that incident didn't get touched by another car.
They didn't have a chance. Death. Is what that should
exactly
be
the type
described
of
as.
incident I was expecting to see at some stage. And all the cars are kind of, even if you, as they did, slowed up, there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the cars behind that I think have the hardest time because they don't have any view of anything.
Yeah.
Well, in lighter news, we do have one positive. Those tyres are still there, and it is lap 2.
That's a curse on the tyres, I think, mate.
Yeah, well, look, I tried. Safety car is in this lap, so Andrew O'Hara will have control of the field.
I don't think someone pressed the old... Did you see the safety car graphic come in? Oh, that's deep there from the safety car! Oh, it's nearly a spin!
Oh, he's told it.
No, we did see the graphic. It did pop up.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good decision to do that because they can come in. And we're away again here. The restart for race 2, the split green. Not much of position changes in the top 10 here, but as you saw at the back, there was a bit of a swarm. We'll just skip through it here. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Send. That is a send.
Lipton stamped. He's out of here.
Whoa, Bentley! Wobbly! Saves it. That is a good save, but he's going to be under pressure now from that McLaren. That could be Kingston.
Yeah, it is Kingston.
It's so important around this track to at least save your tyres for a lap or two. I think because the pressure loss is just so easy to get, as I found out.
Oh, it is.
The left front gets eaten up.
What did you get down to? Can you remember the pressures?
Like 26.5 on the front left. I
Yeah. Was that for your first stint?
think. Yep.
Yep.
I didn't look after them the first couple of laps, and but they stayed around the 27 flat. But then right at the end, they got about 27 to 26.5 or so.
Oh, another crash.
No Punterino.
David
230.
Ty.
That's David Ty. Damn. I just had a moment of his own there.
Was running P6. Porsche has gone very wide there.
Ross. It is deceivingly downhill, that last corner. I don't know if you've seen the height difference between the main straight and that corner, but it's quite astonishing when you look at it from a drone.
Yeah, so we were talking about earlier, downhill, blind apex, and slightly off camber. It's not a great combination.
It's odd. Not a lot of camber anywhere.
Look away now if you are an Audi team member. What we don't like to see, and an unfortunate thing in racing, is team-on-team contacts. That's exactly what you see. Just hear the slightest of touches, and around went Stephen Ty.
Yeah, very fast.
Oh, then he gets a whack by the Porsche coming through as well, just for good measure. Straighten him up a little bit.
And that's a Porsche of Ross, super deep into that blind apex, and off he went. Fluke though, P8 in the AM class. Those tyres are gone, Bender. Look what you've done.
Mate, it was going to happen. It was inevitable.
But defense, good movement on the brakes.
Oh, contact. That was definitely a hit there on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Team
that's
Porsche
another
have
hit.
just come to bully the Lamborghini.
3 Porsches just in that Lambo. Oh, there's a swarm. Oh, I
They
can't
really
watch.
don't like Lamborghinis, those Porsches I've heard. Oh, that's a send.
So that was absolute robbery by Ross, Caro, and Brits there. They've just said, nah, get this Lamborghini out of here. We don't want it.
Team orders.
I think it's the first time I've seen a triple car contact team on team. Porsche, please check your emails.
Yeah, check yours. Hello, 911, yes? I'd like to report a murder.
Love Toto.
Oh, Dow's got a bit of work to do here defending these Bentleys.
Yep. Oh, what a rear gunner here for O'Hara though.
Yeah.
He's held them off for 4 laps.
Crucially, Rays has also managed to pass Adini. Adini didn't qualify ahead of Rays, so those two have swapped around.
Cruz just has to hang on here, really, I think.
It's just this. Did you find Sector 3 the hardest with the Mercedes, Pat?
No, I
Just
found the end of Sector 1, that right-hander, that before the bridge, that's probably my hardest
Okay.
one.
Did you do
Having
much
to
practice
find-
of that one? Or not?
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
a fair bit of hot lapping.
It's a strange one. You kind of... Yeah, there's a couple of techniques to taking that corner. It's not easy. And then the corner up above that, what am I thinking of? McLean's? Yeah, McLean's. That one's, I find, even harder. It's a very challenging circuit, but I found Sector 3, I just lost more time there. Just the slower hairpins. I just struggled with getting that rotation, and just, you got to nail the brakes and get that trail braking into the corner as well.
Yeah, I found I couldn't repeat it lap after lap very well. Like, I could every now and then put a pretty good lap together.
Yeah.
But the Sector 3 is very tough, especially trying to set up the car. Like, literally 80 to 90% of the track is high to medium speed corners, and then for the last 3 corners of the track, they're hairpins. So, I don't know, pretty difficult one, but Andy did a good job with that setup that I think most people have been using.
So it looks
That's
like,
a send.
I was about to say, it looks like it's settling down, but no, it's kicking off again. Effort into the side of the Nissan there.
Bushell's
Sure.
been mugged.
Yeah, that one's going to be a penalty, you'd imagine. Stewards will be busy. Well, that is a big set by the
Oh.
Nissan. What was that?
Nissan's done the right thing there and just
Move.
trying to get out of the way and just darted across.
Yeah, it's cost that Audi a position though. Stephen Ty again has lost out this time to Weatherburn.
I don't think it doesn't matter.
Our first hitter.
It doesn't matter who's in this split. It just seems to be that split where there's always a little bit more drama.
Something's always happening.
Maybe we need to change the colour. Maybe green's unlucky.
Yeah, look, I've got a few suggestions. I mean,
No, we're not doing banana split and
Split apple.
cookies and cream and get
Split
out.
peppermint.
Split peppermint. That just really rolls off the tongue.
Split chocolate chip cookies.
Split kumquat.
Oh my goodness.
Split pineapple.
Look, I'll throw
yellow
it.
and pineapple on the same night.
I'll throw it to the chat. What do you want to see the splits called, other than colours?
And pizza topping. Split pineapple. Split anchovies.
Split margarita.
Split bacon.
Split meat lovers.
Split bacon.
Split bacon's a good one.
Different cuts of meat.
I don't think the vegetarians are going to be happy about that.
Meanwhile, Andrew O'Hara, 126.2, saves us and brings us back to the race. You watch his teammate exiting the pits. Oh, that Lamborghini almost got cleaned up by the Mercedes and 2 Bentleys there. Jeez. Sam Wreck.
A very
Breathe in.
Just an unfortunate pit exit in general. Like, you've got to watch your delta zone, see who's coming. But if you are a lap down, it's a tough one because you don't want to leave the pit exit too slowly. But if you're a lap down, you got to yield.
Yeah,
Levels of
shoot
death.
to come out of the pits there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of options.
No, you. Oh, tidy.
Blending in with the grass, the bender rejoin. Oh,
No, not even in the same ballpark as the bender. You have to T-bone them, Patrick.
Just sniping them for my teammate.
I wish they could all be split green. Trousers, banana split, levels of death, different cat breeds for splits. What about if you're allergic?
what were they to begin with? When you had multiple splits in your first couple of seasons.
No, they've always been colours. They've never changed. So when we had 6 for the 3 different nights, there was also split purple and split orange. As that Bentley has just closed the door on that Audi, said, "Not today, bucko."
I was having a hard time trying to work back. Very tough place to overtake this place.
It is.
Oh,
Audi
impossible, I'd
looking
say.
at 10.
Very racy.
It's impossible. You're really reliant on the car ahead to make a mistake. If you're going to try and get them under brakes and then nailing all their sectors, then nah, no chance. A forced overtake. So as we just saw, Balagulan picked up a 15 for that lap 1 contact. Supersonic Legend Grand Champ and Diamond. Is that... What's that? What levels are they? Diamond sounds like Rocket League. Naming the splits after Bond girls. Naming the split after Bond girls. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know any of them.
Don't know.
It's
Another pit.
car 108 getting 15 for a collision on lap 5. So who's that?
Car 108. Can't see it on the leaderboard on the left-hand side.
That's because 108 doesn't seem to be in there. Could have been a typo. Or they could have left. Name the splits after iced coffee brands. Liam, everything would be called Farmers Union. Because there's only one. This will be... Actually, take it back. This would be Split Dare for sure.
Split homemade.
You just call them after coffee names, you know. Split espresso, flat white.
Split flat white? That's a spicy vanilla split, isn't it?
You know, or a pumpkin spice macchiato or whatever it is that, you know, the vegan lovers are after these days, yeah.
Maybe we could name the split after the last name of the driver that won the split previously.
Split O'Hara.
Split O'Hara, Split Bakita. There's definitely 2.
Split Washington.
Or we can name it after the person with the worst rejoin for that series, that season. Split Bender, Split Bender, and Split Bender.
Hey, look, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I think he kind of like that, to be honest.
No, actually, we're going to get people rejoining just to have a split named after them.
That would be funny. Not necessarily for the stewards, but for the viewers.
Well, we can think of something. We don't want to tier them. So, like split A, split B sounds like A's better, or split 1, split 2, same again. That's why I kind of went colours because they're not really graded. Maybe if we end up having a pro split, that's pretty easy to distinguish.
I know it's done for planning, so you know, split blue is say 7:30 on Thursday night or whatever. I wouldn't mind changing the colours every now and then. Not necessarily so you got different ones for every night, but so they're consistent. So maybe, you know, split blue becomes split purple.
But isn't that going to confuse the issue?
Orange.
Haven't we spent a year and a half saying blue is 8 PM Thursday, and then we change it to split purple is now 8 PM Thursday? It'll be everyone like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's just purple instead of blue. Are people really that?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Why change it if you're not going to really change it?
Yeah, well, don't change the colour. Change it significantly. Maybe a shape, split triangle.
Change the category.
Triangle.
Are we going after percussion instruments or shapes?
So I was gonna. Nah, to play the triangle, we need a 4-year uni degree, so we won't go that one.
Split dodecahedron.
I don't know if many people can spell that.
It's an IQ test. Can you join OOR? Can you spell dodecahedron?
I don't mind Princey's idea. Star signs, planets. Well, I don't care what anyone says, but there'd be a split Pluto.
Yeah, I was going to say Pluto's a planet.
Yeah, it's planet in my eyes. I was taught that at school, so yeah, everyone else thinks that otherwise get in the bin. I don't care about science.
The moon?
No, fuck off.
How about the science?
How about we have a split for each one of Jupiter's moons? That's a lot. Ooh, looks like
That's
Dan
a lot of
Sicily.
moons. That's a big penalty for Dan Siciliano there. Drive through for a collision on lap 5.
Is that a second penalty? That's two
Yeah,
separate
it was.
penalties, I think.
Similar lap, so he's got a bit of a Barney on lap 5.
Deanie has found a way past Rays, but cannot find a way past Dowd.
We do shapes. Oh.
That gap. 7.7 seconds now to O'Hara, so...
Tell you what,
Yeah,
here we go. Here's his chance. Here's his chance.
It's the chance, and I'm going to say
Definitely got it.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that is late from the other...
Let them both through. Oh no, he's got the inside for the last turn. So, oh dear.
Dowd been absolutely mugged by Rays there.
Oh,
No!
Director, that is not the camera we want to see.
shout out to the safety car.
Shout out to the Monaco camera crew. Cutting away to Lance Stroll there. We need to know what happened.
Look, he only lost one,
Sorry.
there, so I think that's the best.
2 seconds, Ted! No,
seconds.
look, there's nothing happening. Sorry. Someone else said something in there. Name it after Arnott shapes. Here's a question.
Shapes.
What would pick the... Oh, don't send it there.
Wow.
You're asking so much of that Mercedes.
I did die there. On my own.
Name 4 Arnott shapes. Oh, my goodness.
Barbecue.
No, it wasn't it.
So,
That wasn't it, fam.
Cheese and bacon.
Oh, that Lamborghini was doing a mono.
Crew, just minding his own business. And then whack.
We got pizza.
That sucks.
We got barbecue. We got cheese and bacon.
You're missing one that would be a first. Vegemite shapes OP.
Chicken crimpies. Is that an Arnott shape?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's 4.
It's got to be... Pizza's got to be in there. Barbecue.
Did I not say?
Yeah, no, I'd say but definite ones we've got to pick are those 2.
Oh, okay.
Cheese and bacon. That's got to be in there.
Also on my list.
Oh, well, that really split things up, didn't it? That little contact.
Yeah.
I'll
That was
find it
rough,
back.
Wayne. Not much Lucas could do there.
We could go on and on about the random things to call these splits, but I think colours is probably the best one to stick with. If it's not broke, why fix it?
That's what I mean. It's hard. So we haven't bothered because it works.
As an overtake, lost 2 positions, that Jaguar.
Let's just watch this poor Lamborghini as forced.
Oh.
Whee!
Absolutely nothing Justin could do there about that. Wouldn't surprise me if the stewards take a look at that though. Got eyes everywhere.
You could do it after, but you got to think. You got to think global. Like
Don't
Europe.
think you can use lounge anymore.
Yeah, it's probably not the right time to be using him. But yeah, maybe like you could do it as in Motorsport Legends in general, or like Split Mazepin.
Split Schumacher. Oh, wow.
Just do manufacturer names. Split Porsche.
No,
Split
you
Ferrari.
can't do that. You can't
That means
because they
there's
got
only
other.
Porsches in that
Yeah.
split.
It'd be confusing as hell.
No, I think the names you couldn't do because I don't know. You need some way to relate. Or as the Nissan in the background gets a move done on the Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Alright, well then just do flags. You've got checkered flag split, green flag split, red flag split.
So all you're adding is the word fucking flag, Bender.
It's the same thing.
What is wrong with you? You just made it even harder. Oh, red works, blue works. Let's add the word flag to it,
Just gotta,
because that would simplify things.
just gonna add flag to everything.
Red checkered quilt, blue checkered quilt.
Look, that's genius strategy.
Oh, your
You know,
version
the
of genius is different to mine.
We're rebranding, but we're just adding the
typical
same word.
rebranding. Like when you're like, okay, I don't really want to work this. I want to change it. Let's just add something onto it to make it look like we've done something.
Oh, well, don't it? It's a good idea. It's like, it's good in theory, but I feel it might restrict a few others. And I never wanted to make it like a pay thing with that. But hey, if you want to buy a split or sponsor a split, hey, sponsors! Sponsors, there we go! Split Logitech, get in!
That's a better idea. Where's that bit?
No, actually, no, split blue flag, that's a fucking good one. Sorry, Firelord.
I feel like he's face palming now.
He's Googling things that are blue.
Sponsor's probably alright. That would make sense. You have at
Name
least
them up.
4.
Yeah.
Name them
Wait.
up. Dinosaurs.
That means we need 8 sponsors, right?
Oh, not necessarily. Like you could say, well, say blue will turn into split Fanatec type of thing, and green will turn into split Librafleur tampons. I don't know, something. Bender's googling what that is. How does he know what I wear? How does he know what I wear? Split Bunnings? Exactly.
Split super cheap auto.
The biggest sponsor can have one in each region. That's it. Except with that, which sponsor gets split green then? Split Toyota is split green. Oh, what a feeling. That type of thing.
Someone can sponsor the replays.
They do.
Oh, here you go, Russell Rays, bang, 15-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 12. That would have been the incident with Dowd and Cruz.
Yeah, he got a little bit of impatience there. He saw his teammate get past, and he didn't want to let that opportunity disappear. But he's copped a 15, and he's 3.5 seconds back from Adini now. So it didn't work.
Yep, door was closed. He tried to walk through it anyway.
Yeah, the best way to do it is think of a sponsor and think of their motto or their slogan. And that kind of works in with what you're trying to do. I don't think Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster have a slogan. Just seen a bit of sadness. 217's had 2 offs in about 3 corners.
Effing sharp. So half race distance approaching here. Still a lot of the field yet to pit. Quite a few drivers picking up penalties now as well. Obviously O'Hara out in acres of space, but everyone else appears to be bunched up in roughly 2/3 of the track. Do we think we'll see any pit stops soon?
Oh, surely. 217's still around.
Oh, they are. Oh,
Yeah, Glenn Jones teleports to the pits.
I think if your tyres survive, you just keep going, depending who you're racing. I think the long first stint is the optimum strategy. If you can make your tyres survive that long.
2 secs, guys. I've got something to show you that is absolutely sensational. In regards to consistency. So this is Glenn Jones. Bang, around he goes. And rear into the fence. The very next lap, Glenn Jones.
Oh, no.
I thought I was watching the same thing. Does the same thing. Back around, rear into the fence.
Oh,
Exactly the
that
same
is
thing.
the definition of Audi things right there.
Style points.
Consistency is A+.
Isn't that what all the best drivers aim for? Consistency?
That's true.
I would know.
Well, you've only debuted, mate, so you've got a long way to go.
Yeah, my first race, look, I can't be upset. Only lost 1 spot from Collie, I think.
It's a lack of... the last split had a lot more pitting early before the 30-minute mark. This split's leaving it late. Not sure if it's to do with the safety car or if it was just they're in a groove.
Interesting to see where he comes out.
Don't fall for the classic. I've got some. That is a good pickup line, Cam. It worked on you. Oh no, that is not Glenn Jones. Please don't be Glenn Jones.
No, I
No,
think
it's
that was
Debian.
the report. Wow, he's almost pumped with his teammate.
Yeah, that is never a situation you want punting your own teammate.
Remember that for tomorrow, mate. You say you want me to punt you? It'll make you go quicker.
Mate, you've got to be behind me to punt me first.
You never know. So what had happened to be... Oh, here we go. Oh, he keeps it out of the fence.
Oh, just.
Battles have died down a little bit. Lucas Dowd, who was in the thick of it, you can see where it's sort of fed him out. He's down at provisionally P4 as he just gets past up to provisional P3. Sorry, Jake Weatherburn just got done there. Aditi's in the pits, but I wouldn't imagine that's a very much longer.
No, he's out. I think this is...
Is he out already? Oh, he's already out. Oh, he just got turn 1 now. So a handy little gap between this group. Dowd, I feel like he deserves a podium. He's been stellar today. Held off the swarm, qualified P2. Where is Kingston? Kingston is not on the server anymore. Not ideal.
Well, hopefully he can rejoin if he's having technical issues.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here. Really do appreciate it. Are we having the wet weather? No, I hope not. I don't want my first race back to be in the wet.
Yes, you do.
Ease me in. Ease me in. Probably won't matter too much in the Mercedes, but I haven't had time to practice the wet. I think his internet's died. That's not good. So Connor Kingston, another one of the DC fam. Let's talk strategies tomorrow, Bender. Where are you expecting to plonk it on in qualifying, and when are you going to pit?
I would say P34.
Oh, I think there's only 32 racing, mate.
Oh, well, there. You never know, it could be some late ends. I don't know, probably pit with 20 minutes to go.
You're confident by the sounds of it. So looks
the only way I'm going to get some screen time, you know. Jamie Saxon, he loves it. He calls me out on it every time. Oh, look, Bender hasn't pit yet. There's 15 minutes to go. Oh, we better show him on the camera.
I thought it was something to do with that. I called you out on that once in a stream. Like, yeah, he's staying out there for the airtime.
Always, mate.
Patrick, that's what you should be doing.
No one wants to watch me circulating around when I'm in, 27th position.
It's hard. It's obviously with this game, if you're not watching a broadcaster controller and another monitor, you only see the 23 that surround the car that you're looking at. So, blue screen. So Pat's left it, got the blue screen.
F and chaff and Pat.
Oh dear. What better way to ease me in than making it moist?
About yourself, mate. Where do you think you'll quali and when are you pitting?
Jeez. I don't actually know. Cam, where do you think I'll qualify? I've no idea. Pitting, I'm going to say right on the 30-minute mark. Unless I stuff my pressures up, and it'll be earlier. Oh, it's close.
That was close there from Cameron Ross on Bushel.
Poor Bushel.
It's done.
PC's making a funky noise. Oh, does it sound like a fan issue? Funky. What's the noise coming from? When can I get mullet quotes on it? I'm not sure I'm allowed to print them. We're going to endeavour to swear less, but I will not stop being me. I'll just stop being lazy. I'll swear when it's needed, like when people last 12 fucking metres before binning it. Actually, I want Cameron Farman to guess where I'm going to qualify tomorrow. Not even booting. Assume PSU first. Have you got a spare one to try? Cam's just disappeared. Doesn't care.
Typical.
Fluke leads the race though. Robert Fluke or David McNulty, you decide. Big stint here. Got to say
about 20-second lead on O'Hara, I'd say. Obviously still yet to pit, of course.
Maybe you get a fan boost, Robert Fluke, which removes your need to pit.
I'd love to see a fan boost.
Yeah, to get too memey too quick. Oh, as he pits, he had his lead.
Is that his moment in sunshine? It'd be funny if he had a poll and then one of the commentators went on to TeamSpeak, assuming that person's on there, said, hey mate, you've got a fan boost for the next 5 minutes. Make the most of it. But there's no actual fan boost. and see if, like, psychologically they drive faster or if they just crumble under the pressure.
Imagine if they crash straight away. P3 or P4? Oh, geez, I wish. I'd be happy with the top 10 tomorrow in my return. I don't think Cam's going to say, oh, it's P12, make me feel like shit.
Look, mate, if you don't perform, you'll be at risk of demotion to Pro-Am.
Yeah. Sector 2's been, I think, the one that I've been doing alright. I don't know if it was Oh. Nah, I think it's McLean's that I was going to carry a bit more speed through it. I think we all get a bit spooked with the tyres go away. I just don't know how people like O'Hara just send it fully for 23 laps and not be worried like it about tyre drop off. This is a good battle though between the Porsches.
Yeah, and look at our AM class leader, Fluke. He's coming to pits right behind them. A mega first stint up into P9 now.
I'm enjoying Donington as in a spectator. Obviously we put a lot of focus on tracks that are conducive to overtaking, but really in the GT3 tracks there's no real super track that you get overtakes done. Paul Ricard's obviously won because you got that long straight, but real much of a muchness. Zandvoort's, I don't know if that's obviously maybe turn one, but it's a garbage track in my opinion. I'd love to see it with the bank corner though.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
How did the Pro AM classes get changed on? Not really lap time. It's one of the measurements, but it's basically performance. Oh no, Cameron, good save. The lap time and safety, so it's a bit of everything. Performance, if you're on the podium regularly, then you're probably pro. Like, you got fast drivers in each split, and if you're on that podium, you're one of the faster ones. It's unlikely you just fluke your way to a podium. You've obviously got to have that talent. There's no like DNFing here or safety cars at the end of the race that can change it up. AM, everyone that joins this series will start AM. It could be for a race. They could be quick and they just start AM. When am I going to get ACC 12 hours in Monaco? Oh, if there was such thing as a DNF, yeah, 100%.
That would be amazing to see though. GT3 cars in Monaco.
It would. Rough day at work last night. Last thing I wanted after was a race at Donington. Rob's not a fan.
Well, you can't win them all, Rob. As always, next week. And meanwhile, Cruz here. Through the pit stops, we saw him involved in that incident with the Dini Dowd. He's managed to improve up into P2, and he now has the task of...
No, that was Reyes and Dowd. I don't know what's happened to Adini to fall behind Cruz through the pits though.
Well, he got that 15-second penalty for causing the incident with Dowd.
Are you sure it was Adini? Wasn't it Reyes? Dini got through, then Reyes through.
It was Reyes, yep.
So something else must have happened to Adini as O'Hara goes 126.1.
That should be illegal.
No, he's doing great guns here. Thruxton. Is that an English track? Cam's legs. I've got a better question for you, Cam. Can you actually farm? Do you own a tractor? Because if not, you're a fraud, mate.
No, he farms Bitcoin.
Oh dear. I'm going to battle down to this part. So 4 cars, 4 for 15th, all behind Ami Hazik. We've got Sam Rick, Jacob Weatherburn, and Stephen Ty.
Been a rough race for Stephen Ty.
Oh, it has. It's been a rough race for a few drivers. Obviously saw Glenn Jones before, did the old double banger, but I think he's had technical issues after that. When I was younger, yes. What did you farm? Fastest track in the UK. Ooh, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Simmons Plains in the game. It's my local.
I reckon the Bend would be nice.
It's your local.
A couple of hours away, but yeah.
I just want to see the blocky route. Oh, here's the thing. Does anyone know what I mean when I mention the term blockies? Or some people refer to them as manies? Do you know what I'm referencing? Not you, Bender, but those in chat. And if so, have you done them before?
Oh, Deanie really pushing there on the grass.
See what Cruz is doing. Fabulous here. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Much appreciated if you do.
No notifications on.
No, George doesn't have any idea. No one else is answering. I'm not sure if there's a bit of a delay of everyone asking and chat. Oh, it says top chat. Maybe that's the reason why. Let me just change it.
Oh, I think Deanie, oh, he was looking at it there, decided against it.
Maybe it's for the overseas viewers for this split. Yes, Scope. Chucking laps around your main street. Well, yes. Sam Rex had it off. I better check that. What's it called? Lapping. We call it blockies, mainly because we're just going around the same block. I know I've lived in Queensland for a little bit, and they were calling it manies because you're just going up and down the highway or the main road. There's no real
Cap laps in Victoria. These guys are really pushing, dipping wheels on the grass.
See what happened to Wreck before? I haven't seen this replay yet. Rex in the Lamborghini. All the Audi in the background, dipped his wheels. They're close. Honda's had a bit of a look and sent him around.
See you later.
It's unfortunate there for Sam Wreck.
Deanie up the inside this time. No, backs out. But Cruz has gone deep.
Going for a spins. Spin just means drive for us. Sounds boring. Nah, it's actually... I've got one of my funniest driving stories doing a blocky. It's actually pretty recent. I think everyone sort of did blockies or manies or laps when they first get their licence. Catch up with others in their car. Good story here for you, Bender. I'm not sure if I remember telling you. But we went on a bit of a trip to the vineyards on one weekend, and I was designated driver because I like to be. I hate drinking wine. And we hired a Kia Carnival, like a big seven-seater thingy. Anyway, towards the end of the day, we had it for one night, so we're back in town. I'm like, oh, let's go for a drive. So we went in to do some blockies in it. I dragged a Subaru Impreza in the Kia Carnival as the biggest bogan. Oh, it's actually had a little bit of go in it, and it was funny because after that, all I was doing was just razzing all the guys and girls in the city with the hotted up cars, just revving it, and I don't know. I just found it hilarious. Blockies on your scooter. That'd be scary. It's scary enough as it is. I've gone 220, 240 in a car before, but doing 40 on a scooter, holy shite. Oh, Adini's made a mistake. He is human. He is human.
He is. Cruz is back ahead.
Did you say he just cruises back ahead? Because if you didn't, you've missed a golden opportunity there, mate.
I did say he cruises back ahead.
I liked it. What on?
And going back to it, Weatherburn picked up a penalty 15 seconds for a collision 3 laps ago. Dini, he's still fighting this one. I'd say he's probably faster at this point in the race than Cruz. But look who's lurking in the background, ever closer. Rays, gap now 2 seconds. Mega D 1.5 further back in the Macca. This could be a nice little battle here.
Just see, Danny. It looks like they're having a peak to have a bit of a dunge, but what you're doing there is, if you know you've got a bit more pace in the car ahead of you, and you know you brake later, sometimes you're really unsure about the car has going to brake, so you've kind of just got to stick your nose outside of the other car's braking zone just to protect yourself from running into them. Like, it's, you see a lot of drivers that are quick do that, like Houlihan's a big one doing it. He does try and spook you to go deep. It's another good type of like force tactic to enforce a mistake, but that's another thing, is they're trying to avoid contact in the car ahead. And a lot of the inexperienced drivers that just get the blood rush and they want to race really close don't allow for that, because the car ahead of you can make a mistake. You just got to try a bit of damage limitation.
So Rays took a second out of these two on the last lap.
Flying. Oh, here's a chance. No. Kenny's got a bit of pull.
No way through here. Can't go too wide.
Bentley's absolutely awful out of the two hairpins, yeah, same as the Mercedes. I think it's to do with the front engine and the understeer. 90% of the reason I stick my nose out is to just gauge where the brake point is, yeah. That's why I do it. That's why it's really hard when there's like 3 or 4 cars around. Just sometimes see it. Oh, he's made a mistake. He's going to have to defend on the inside line. If he doesn't, Adini's going to snatch him. He leaves the door open. Adini's going to make himself as wide as possible to avoid that switchback. He has the outside, which is now the inside, and you can just see Reyes in the background. Adini now back up to P2. Cruz in the Bentley sandwich. Can he hold on for a podium, Bender?
I think so. He's got a great exit here, though. Not sure he's close enough to have a look into turn 1.
I don't find the Merc rockets out of that at all. That's where I struggle. I feel like the McLaren was. One of the other mid-engines. I found the Aston was even getting quicker out of there, and the Aston's got bloody lag.
Turbo lag on the Aston is terrible.
Maybe it's just the drivers that I was racing against at the time, I don't know. I'd really like to see Justin get a podium here. I'm not sure if he's had one as yet. How's Andy so far ahead of Adini? Adini started in third.
He started 3rd, got jumped by his teammate Rays on the start.
Yeah.
And Dowd was a great rear gunner, helping O'Hara establish a 10-second lead at least.
Yeah, so that was the thing. It was Dowd was P2, a great qualifying there from Lucas Dowd, and he just defended nicely for those first 5, 6, 7 laps and gave Andy that lead. But then from there, Adini's he's had an off here. Something must have happened around the pit stops to be jumped by Cruz, because Cruz was the one that cardinally took off. George, I'm in the Merc. I've got a Merc seat.
So how did you get the Merc seat, mate? Who dropped out?
Oh, Carl Peterson. So I was originally in the Merc to start the series because that was the last sort of seat left. I just sort of took what I could, but the shoulder disc wasn't quite right. And Carl said he wanted to get involved, and so I gave my seat to Carl. But he only done one race and hasn't seen him since. So I sort of said, mate, do you mind if I have it back? So I took it. Any chance to punt you, mate?
Yeah, the length some people will go to.
Maybe that's my thing. Maybe I'm not upshifting a second quick enough in the Merc. What's your prediction? Who do you think will finish third?
I think Cruz is going to get it. I think Ray's here, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to let fourth turn into fifth, which it very easily could if he makes a mistake.
Yeah,
He's only 2 seconds back.
That battle for 15th is still going on. It's down to 3 cars though. As Sam Reck was punted several laps ago. Oh, it's close. This is not a corner you want to send it. Oh. They're both trying to leave some room. I say that. It's not an easy corner. I think he's done enough. Not quite. Dow DT for track limits. Oh, it's all gone pear-shaped for Lucas.
Yeah, but he did his job. He helped secure the win for Team Mercedes.
I'm sure he would have loved to have been in that top 10, let alone probably in that top 5, to be honest.
Oh, he deserved the podium, but he got punted, didn't he?
I think so. And look who's joined the party.
Yep, she's
Look
here.
who's joined the party. McLaren of Megan D. Let's go on board with Megan. Maybe it could be a 2-for-1 sale here. I think Cruz is under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, he is, but he's got track position, and that is very important around Donington.
You can just, if Megan plays the cards right, you could just wait for Reyes maybe to show a little bit of impatience. Maybe Cruz gets a little bit spooked and misses a brake marker or makes a mistake. And both those 2 cars ahead are off track. I'd love to see him go 3 wide into the Melbourne hairpin.
That would be interesting. I'm not sure it would end well though.
I don't know what to do with McLean's, whether to change the traction control just for that corner, because I just feel if you're a little bit too hesitant getting on throttle there, or you're a bit too keen and wipe up too much speed, there's so much of your lap time. I think you're watching the wrong stream.
Well, I'm not the one to give you advice, mate. That's more traction control changes than I do in a race.
It sure beats having all the changes that we did for F1. I think I made 40 odd adjustments a lap in their last F1 season. Easy.
Back when I was practicing a lot, I was changing the diff, brake bias, the fuel mix, the ERS, changing it all, and now I just, whatever, set it and forget it.
Yeah, it was obviously with the game, it kind of went the wrong way with its whole brake bias. You had to have it at 50. Otherwise it was just horrible. But yeah, OOR changing that ERS. Not so much really last year's game, but fuel mix is a big one.
Bring back the 11 ballast.
No, 111. Yuck. 111 wings. Oh, Cruz is drive through.
Oh, it wasn't even. It didn't even look like it.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, I'd say it. Alt F4.
That's going to be me tomorrow. That's going to be me tomorrow, that's for sure.
F in chat, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is the same line he's been taking all this time. It didn't even look that bad.
Nah, definite cut. Unfortunate. So he's just served his drive through. He's going to stay 6th. And that'll open up the track there for Adini to push away from D. Got Jerry 14th pushing down on Dowd, who's been on the wars. Let's go Porsche on Porsche. Let's go another prediction now. Who's going to finish ahead? Ross or Brits? You still there, mate?
Yep, still here.
Who's going to finish ahead, Ross or Brits?
I'd say Ross. Weatherburn also picked up drive-through track limits.
Rip. He was in that 4-car battle for 15th at one stage.
Yeah,
Might have been the car that caused the collision. I can't remember if it was an Audi or a Honda.
Yeah, he did have a 15-second penalty.
And Brits sneaks through in his teammate.
I think that was not a pass, but just go by. That looked too easy. Well, there's only a minute 30 left, so why would you bother?
So what are you saying, team orders?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so last lap of the race. Second last lap of the race. I'm behind you. You let me through.
No.
Good. That's the right answer. Because otherwise I can't punt you off. I don't think we ever really came together in all our races.
No, we didn't.
And there's been a lot of them. There's been a few close calls, but that's just hard racing.
Yeah, there's never been anything egregious.
This Nissan's had a few run-ins on the left-hand side. It'll buff out. So, I think we're on the final lap now. Alright, car number 1. Where is he? He's at the Melbourne hairpin at the moment. Yeah, he's not going to get another lap in within 10 seconds. Surely.
You never know.
Oh, he might! Roll off the throttle! I imagine if he bins it now.
No, he did. He just
got it in,
there. Oh, what a man! This is the guy who loves racing. He would have known. He could have just cruised the line, rolled off. That's me done. Nope. Go chuck another lap. Would not surprise me if this is fastest lap as well.
Is this gonna watch this lap?
Still pushing.
Yeah. So it's so on edge through McLean's. That's why he holds that pace through there. Oh, he's on the limit. He knows he's being streamed, I think. Yeah, we're trying to curse ourselves, Simon.
So I wouldn't be doing this if
he's pushing so hard. Last lap was a 26.8. Yeah, he's not at a quick upshift there in a second. Final corner, which has got odds. And onto the straight to finish the race. So well done, Andrew O'Hara. P1 for Mercedes.
Oh, he almost had a 26.4 on the last lap.
Yeah, he was pushing.
Well done, Andrew O'Hara. What a drive. Great performance.
Salt and Pepper wrote a song about Andrew O'Hara. It's called What a Man. Hope you're singing it in your head out there, someone. So back again tomorrow for Split Blue, Split Red for both. Well, all of Asia Pacific, Europe and North America. We've got Raggy hosting for Europe, and we've got Big Smelly, aka Brian Garrity, hosting for Split North America. Reyes P3, so Bentley's double podium. Megan D only a second back. Cruz, even with the drive-through, is going to finish 5th as the tyre barrier in the background has been yeetus deletus. It's still going down the ground.
Well, it was sitting there for all the race, and it's finally been.
I want to try and find someone. Try and find someone that's near it. There it is.
F in chat for the tyres.
That's a long way from home. It's a long way from home. Oh no.
Who's that?
Don't know, but caught them on stream, so they're going to be fuming.
403, it's Belagulan. Oh, I think he's already finished that. It's just a parade lap.
Oh, that's alright then. Don't know, Paige, we might have to give her a bit of a boost. I think it's been enough performances out of her to warrant going up to pro. Very impressive. And then we're done. So we just wait for the session to kick over and we'll look at the the results. There we go. You're going to love the camera options here, Raggy. It's so glitched. That's one of the TV cameras, and then it does this.
That's
It's
a great shot.
Stuffed. Anyway, let's check out the race results. So O'Hara, Adini, Reyes top 3 in the overalls. We've got D, Cruz, Fluke, Biambi, Brits, Ross, Serpule. So Pro-Am though, we have D, who I'm pretty sure we're going to bump up to Pro. Absolutely stellar performances in these 6 rounds. We've got Biambi and Ross. In the AM class, we have Fluke, who I think might get a bump up to Pro-Am, Kerneman and Bashtold, rounding out the top 3. What a man, what a man, what a man. Anyway, I'll do that view because it's broken.
No, it's if you don't look like looking at the 50-metre pit entry speedboard.
You want to look at it?
Yeah, doesn't everyone like looking at it?
Why look at it like that when you can look at it? Is it this?
This is the pit out one, so.
Beautiful.
Hashtag British GT. There you go.
What under Dini? So, coming up in Octane Online Racing, we do have our endurance series for Season 2 kicking off in the first weekend of September. Teams of 2 3-hour races on a Saturday night. Now, this series is available to all regions, numbers pending, so make sure you find yourself a teammate, register, get involved. A lot of the drivers prefer this series than any other series. They're liking that longer race, that teammate work. So get involved. We've also got our next special event, which is next month. It'll be the midnight at Mazzano. 8 hours around Mazzano. And it's purely a night race for the first time ever. And I'm really, really excited for that. Are you, Bender?
I am. Have we announced that it's going to rain yet? Or are we not?
No, we'll leave that to the last week.
Okay. Forget we said that, but it's midnight race at Mazzano. It's going to be epic.
Correct. I think it'll be spectacular. If you're unsure about your computer, I'd suggest just jumping on Mazzano. Run about 24 cars, 28 cars on a single player, and you stick the rain on and see how your CPU goes. But it should be fine. Normally, the transitions between daytime and nighttime is where you kind of get that little performance glitch. At Suzuka, we found that as it was transitioning, the CPU drop off would be pretty high. But if you've got a decent rig, no dramas whatsoever. But if you're running an Apple Mac or a Pentium 4, you're probably going to struggle. Time to upgrade. Anyway, Bender, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
No worries, mate. I'll see you out on the track tomorrow.
You shall. Make sure you get those 5 laps in before we race.
Oh, look. Best I can do is 3, mate.
I'll accept it. Also, shout out to Frank Frankfurt and Patrick Oliver for also joining us in the commentary box. F in chat for Patrick's computer, who had a blue screen. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.